weight last time?
Not at all. I gained it all back. I ran the marathon. Are you rolling? I ran the marathon, the LA marathon with no training, and I gained it all back. I feel like I would have been a great Scottish comic.
What diet wise and drinking wise?
I did Edinburgh probably 18 years ago, 19 years ago.
Oh, fucking hell, okay.
But back then it was really catty. Like you could tell like people were hustling. Everyone wanted to win the Perrier.
Oh, yeah.
I listened to your podcast with Ari Shafir. Yeah. I watched one of your specials. You have 2 out right now on Netflix. Yeah. Congratulations,
Thank you.
Really fucking great. I have so much I want to talk to you about. I want to talk to you about like where, like, I'm always obsessed with like, I'm always obsessed with like drawing analogies to where people live globally to what it's like for the States. Because I think I have a lot of listeners that are abroad, but I have a lot in the States, a lot in like Ohio, a lot in Canada. I know that's not States, but Florida, DC, Philly. And I always think it's interesting for them who haven't traveled abroad, for someone like you who has, to put perspective on what living in, what being Scottish, what it would feel like if you were an American.
I don't think you'd know how to. It was a proper culture shock.
Really?
Like, not the same sort of culture shock like if you were in fucking Japan or Thailand or any of those places, but like it's every time, like especially LA is so different to the rest of the fucking world.
Oh, dude.
Like there's nothing like this anywhere else in the world. Like when you come to LA, everyone's an actor, and I don't just mean like the actors. Like it's all a performance all the fucking time.
Oh yeah.
And
wait, this sounds silly. You still live in Scotland?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Glasgow?
Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. Oh, you live in Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Dude, you said the most interesting thing on Ari's podcast that I'm going to make you say again. It's 2 cities built on top of each other?
Yeah, pretty much. So the history of Edinburgh, as is the history with all of Scotland, is absolutely fucked. So during I'm definitely going to get people correcting me on this, but basically...
You said this on Ari's podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone, it's okay. No one fact checks here.
Oh, great. Well, in that case, I'll just fucking make it up. So basically, during I'm going to say about this fucking 1600s, there was the Black Plague that fucking went all over Europe and like decimated 2/3 of the population. And Edinburgh, there's Old Town and New Town. So there used to be a thing where there was no drainage or anything, so you just fucking shit in the streets. You'd shit in a bucket, throw it out a fucking window at certain times during the day. That's where this term shit-faced comes from.
Yeah.
There was at 7 at night, you'd throw your shit out the window, and everyone knew that. But if you were drunk and you started walking home and you forgot what time it was because nobody had watches, and somebody above you shouted Gardialoo, which means watch out for the water, you'd look up, forget what it was, and you'd get a bunch of shit in your face.
That would have happened to me a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Open mouth as well, slag jawed.
Slag jawed.
So Edinburgh basically.
And at the time by the way, pretend I'm asking these questions for my dumbest listener.
Right. Okay.
Pretend I'm not asking these questions. Pretend I'm at the time is British ruled. Right.
So yeah, British rule and Christianity as well was like science is for the devil and therefore medicine is for the devil. So there was no cures for Black Plague. Nobody was working on a cure for the Black Plague.
They wore masks.
They wore masks and coughing, and it was just you'd have fucking garlic or whatever around your neck. Just any sort of pseudoscience that you thought would make you feel better. And then in Edinburgh, they were like, everyone's fucking dying, and the only thing we can think of to do is, because all the shit's obviously draining down to the lower parts of Edinburgh, we'll just build a new Edinburgh on top of old Edinburgh, where all the rich are now going to live and all the poor, you have to stay down there and die. So apparently, historically, they were literally just bricking people into houses, being like, we're so sorry, but you're going to die anyway. Jesus, this is real sad for you. Right. Bye. So if we go to Edinburgh, you can do the underground tours. We can get into the vaults and stuff.
I think I might have done that. I've been to Edinburgh twice.
Yeah.
I went to the castle.
It was great.
But I went there... Edinburgh, if I'm not mistaken, is like one of the most haunted places in the world, right?
Well, I mean, it's absolutely not, because ghosts aren't real, but it's the alleged.
Okay. But that's the other thing that I loved about your special is you really don't take, like, one of the things I love picking at people with beliefs.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't really have any beliefs. I mean, I have beliefs. I have definite beliefs. But like one of the things I said it on stage last night, people always our country right now, people always want you to state your politics. They don't want you to state your politics. They want you to agree with them.
Yeah, exactly.
They just want to make sure you're on the same page with them.
Yeah. And we live in a generation now where, like, I was fucking raised with, if you disagreed with someone, you disagreed with them when you were still friends.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we believe in different things. All right, well, let's get drunk. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Whereas now we're going into this time where it's like, I couldn't be friends with someone that believed that. You're like, well, I just feel like you're really limiting your fucking social circle and also creating the fucking echo chamber. It makes absolutely no sense to me.
Oh, I like echo chambers. I think I literally became a fan of yours and Kai's through Ari.
Yeah.
Through Ari, and then I'm really bad with drinking, but I think I ran into Kai.
I think he was, because I was just texting him before this, because you were over in London and he was in Australia, because he was desperate to meet me up and do the fucking podcast. I would love to go out for a night with you and Kai, just because I reckon that would be the night that I finally died.
Oh, when can we organize that? I'm coming to London.
When?
No, I'm coming to, is Baths close to, or is Hackney close to London?
Yeah, it's all there. If you fucking hit Kai lives in London now, so if you go there, he'll absolutely come out. And
then I'm going to Glasgow. That's pretty far from Edinburgh.
No, it's only about Edinburgh. This is why LA blows my mind. LA is the size of Edinburgh and Glasgow and all of the distance in between it. And because it's LA's like 60.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I was thinking of something else.
So like you've got Edinburgh and you've got Glasgow. LA is the size of both of them and all of the distance in between, because it's like 60. LA's like 67 miles long. Glasgow's 30 miles away from Edinburgh. Scotland's fucking tiny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just got my European tour, and
where are you going?
It hasn't been announced yet, but
because I kick off my European tour with Kai. We go on the 30th. Have you done it before?
This month?
Yeah. We start. Yeah. 30th of September, and then through to like mid-November. Have you done a European tour yet?
I've done London. I've done London. I've done Amsterdam. I've done Scotland, but I've never done like a legit tour.
Oh man, it's unfucking real. I cannot recommend it enough. Like,
I'm a little scared. I was trying to think. Like I got the dates. It's 10 days, and I think it's like 10 days straight.
Yeah. Oh, you'll fucking drink. The people out there are great, because first of all, the fans, not a lot of people go out there to do comedy, so they're just so desperate for you to go out there. And when you do go out there, they're so grateful. Then they'll take you out, they'll try and drink you under the table, and unless they're the Swedes or the Croats, they're not gonna drink you under the table.
I think I'm in Sweden.
The Swedes can drink like motherfucker. It's unreal.
I can't fucking wait. Can I tell you, I really wish I was 15 years younger and single.
Yeah. Well, that's my life.
I know. I'm really envious. Like I said, for those listening, I found you guys through Ari.
Yeah.
And then became fans separately. I think via Twitter, via online, and was like, and then I found out you guys are like fucking legit, almost like 18 years younger than me, and I was like, oh my god, I thought we were all the same age. And I was like, no, they're fucking young. They both, like, you've only been doing stand up 10 years.
About 11 now. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's overwhelming.
But to be fair, I am from Scotland, so like, and we have such a short life expectancy that this is technically my midlife crisis. Like, if it makes you feel any better, I'm done in 12 years.
Yeah, it's but you guys have a really cool scene. I was talking to Ari yesterday about it, and I was like, we have a really cool scene out here, I think. You know, like last night, I had a really, like, I guess what you would argue is a blessed night. It's like me, Segura, and Bill Burr shooting shit about stuff you're not supposed to talk about, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like what no one can talk about anymore is two of my best friends, and I thought, oh, how cool, man, that like, but not even just that, like, we can pick apart something that you can't speak out loud about, but you pick it apart with two of the greatest. I would definitely say, I'm not going to say Segura is one of the greatest minds of comedy because I'm too close to him, but Burr is undoubtedly one of the greatest minds thinking out loud these days.
Yeah.
And to sit and be able to get his trickle down, like, I don't know if he meant this, but like, I'm like hearing what he's saying going, yeah, but I'm seeing a different point of view because I have two girls, and I guess everyone knows what we're talking about now.
Yeah.
But it's so blessed. But then I thought, you and Kai and like your whole scene out there is really, like, you have a great camaraderie out there.
It's good, yeah. The British circuit's pretty nice. It's small. Like, it's not like here. There's a Scottish circuit and then there's an English circuit, and I guess there's like a Manchester one. But like the Edinburgh Festival happens every year, so that's like the fucking melting pot where we all go there. So everyone knows each other. Whereas because the States is so fucking big, you've got, you know, a Wisconsin scene, you've got a fucking LA scene, a New York scene, East Coast, fucking West Coast. So you can like smash a scene and be like real good in New York, and then it's like, and now go start again over there. Like, work your way fucking back up, which is insanity to me, because I had to do that from Scotland to England, and then after that I was like, well, I've done it all now.
Yeah. Do you have plans to stay here
in
the States?
Nah.
If you would, like be honest, best case scenario, someone's like, hey man, you could do it. I think maybe this is patriarchy speaking, I guess. That's all I'm being called these days in my house is the patriarchy. But like, I look
nickname.
at Jim Jeffries and Ricky Gervais as like the goal of a British comic. Obviously, like because I see guys like Jimmy Carr coming over and everyone coming over to tour in the States and having like Jim Jeffries probably has as big of a career in the States as he does Australia as he does in England.
Yeah.
Is that the goal?
For me, no. Like I would, I'd like to fucking come out. If there was like a fucking TV show that I was doing, I'd happily come over and stay here for a long period of time. Like I enjoy LA, but ultimately, this isn't where I fucking live, and you guys freak me the fuck out. Like it's very much like it's like going on safari, and then people are like, "Would you like to live here?" Like, no, I'll just drive through every now and again and see the fucking stuff. Scotland's where I live. I also like Scotland because that's a country that nobody's ever gonna fucking bomb when World War III kicks off.
Yeah,
like we're not on anyone's top 20 list of like we got to get rid of the men in skirts, like they're the real threat. So I just feel like Scotland's very safe with that, and like we don't, we don't have guns over there, and like I don't live here, so my opinions on that don't matter. But like
your opinions matter. Your opinions matter. Everyone's opinion matters. That's the other thing that.
But I mean, in the sense, like I'm not, because whenever you talk about guns, people think you're making a political statement. Whereas I'm like, I'm not making a political statement because one, I can't vote here. Two, it doesn't like affect me until I get fucking shot in the head. But three, I'm just like, I'm always just there pointing out the differences. Like UK police officers don't have guns, and so like only in airports is the first time I ever saw a gun in the UK, and it's just those guys, and they have to be hugely trained. Then you come over here and there's just like a Walmart security guy with a gun, and you're just like, that's a big juxtaposition, and that freaks me out a little bit, like because the only people I've ever seen with guns are ones that I'm like, oh, you got trained for 7 years as opposed to fucking Steve. And it's just a difference, and I'll never get used to seeing guns. Police officers here terrify me. Some of them are, everyone I've met is lovely, but just the way the fucking internet works and the information that you only ever hear the fucking bad stories.
Dude, I took a picture of my guns and put it on Instagram yesterday.
And people, political statement.
Yeah. And by the way, I was just cleaning out my nightstand, and I just happen to have a few guns in my nightstand.
Yeah.
But like, they're not, one of them's loaded and it's got a lock on it, and the other one's not loaded. It's just like, but I have a bit about owning a gun right now that is working in LA, works much better in the middle of the country.
Yeah, of course it does.
What do you think about the middle of our country? And by the way, I'm the one thing I never want to do is what happened with Aisling B.
Yeah.
She came on my podcast and was like polarized everyone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she didn't mean to. She's just, that's who she is.
Yeah.
She's very political.
Yeah.
And very like, and doesn't have a problem with it. And which is like I'm not cool with that. Meaning for personally, like I don't like polarizing people, but like I'd be interested to see your take on the middle of the country. And by the way, everyone listening, realize it's just an outsider's take.
Yeah.
Because you went to Oklahoma.
I've been to. I've done Indiana. I've done Ohio. Was in Cleveland. I'd love to do fucking more of it. Like as I said before, if I disagree with you, that does not mean we can't be fucking friends.
Well, I think a lot of people agree with you. I think a lot of people agree with you, and I think a lot of people have a hard time coming to terms with the fact that they might agree with you about something.
Yeah, because I've said something that has been in all of our heads, but you just didn't have either the stupidity or courage to fucking say it. Yeah,
I mean your views on religion. I think ultimately all of us lay in bed and go, "Is there really someone out there?"
Yeah, I find. Because religion is huge here. Like we've got religion in the UK, but it's very much the opposite. Like you don't brag about it. Like it's not. I've never heard the phrase "proud Christian" in the UK.
Dude, I want to show you my favorite couple is this couple, Kristen and Danny.
Yeah.
I want to get you into loving them as much as I love them.
Yeah.
Because they are faith-based public speakers who do internet car karaoke videos.
Great.
Dude.
I'm sold.
They're both beautiful, but the way they talk, it gives you like chills sometimes, because they're like I think they'll go from like real casual to like, and I think if we all trust in the Lord, and you just all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I forgot that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. But that's about, I don't mind. Like, I have an uncle that's a minister. I have a religious family. I was raised around fucking religion. My beliefs are, I don't believe there is a God. I don't believe there's any sort of hippie fucking afterlife. There's no higher consciousness. There's no higher power. There's absolutely none of that. We're all a statistical anomaly floating on a rock through an infinite space. There's no meaning to life. We're all going to die, and you ultimately don't matter. Now, you can disagree with that, but deep down, we both know I'm right. But if you have a belief that makes you feel a little bit...
I disagree with it, because that's why I drink. I don't fucking... I get terrified to think... I get terrified when I think, so it just goes black again?
Yeah, but like people think like being, especially over here, people think being an atheist is just like, you must be fucking miserable because like you do not think God has a plan and all this stuff. I'm like, no, because the truth, which is my belief, because all my beliefs are obviously true, because that's how they work. I think the truth is 1,000 times more interesting, right? For you to exist right now, your parents had to fuck, like, in the minute that they fucked, right? Had they fucked a minute, had your dad come a minute later or a minute earlier, or if it was a fucking different position, it would have been.
I used to have a joke about if that one time you got caught jerking off, that changes your kids forever.
Yeah. They're just like, I've seen the side that I never needed to see.
Mom, you killed my son.
So, like, for you to exist, your parents had to bang at that exact fucking moment. Otherwise, you would have been an entirely different person.
For real? Oh my God, you're giving me a panic attack.
No, because like there's fucking 10 million. How much jizz in a fucking load? How much semen is in a load?
10 million or something?
Yeah, fucking loads. Yeah. Any one of those could have gone into that fucking egg specifically. Had it been a week later, you would have been an entirely different person. Now, for your parents to exist, your grandparents had to rail each other at the moment that they fucking railed each other, and their parents and so on and so forth. So
that's why I'm a miracle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Every single one of us, statistically, none of us should fucking exist. Yeah. Like it's an unfathomable amount of billions to one. Yet here you and I are sitting right here talking about fucking jizz. Like, yeah. So I feel like every single one of us. I think it was a fucking Richard Dawkins quote, which is, "I'm going to die, and that's why I'm lucky."
Wait, the guy who played for the Hawks? No, and I'm thinking of Daryl Dawkins who played for the 76ers.
Richard Dawkins, you know that annoying atheist. Yeah, he's got some good points, but then you're just like, just do shut the fuck up occasionally, though.
So wait, I've been getting panic attacks lately. I haven't been drinking a lot lately. That's
why you're getting panic attacks.
It is. I think I said to my daughters the other day, I said, I'm cool with you if you want to smoke weed. That's fine. When you're older, I don't want you doing it too young because it'll fuck up your brain.
Yes.
And then they said, when was the first time you smoked?
And you lied through your teeth.
I did. I definitely lied. I wasn't going to say fucking 14. Because my daughter's 14.
Yeah.
So I said 17, which is, by the way, it's just such a fucking leap. Because I was smoking it solid until I was 17.
Yeah.
And at 17, I was like, I'm going to take a break.
Yeah. That's when you retired from the game.
I was like, I'm going to take baseball seriously. I'm going to fucking, I want to get into college.
Yeah.
By the way, but I have been having panic attacks because I don't know the right way to say this. Maybe you can figure it out. I can't help but not see an inch from behind my eyeballs. So I see the world as Bert seeing the world.
Yeah.
Like it's almost a little meta where I go, I can't believe that this is Bert seeing this. It's almost like.
Oh, so you don't feel that you're you?
I feel like I'm. Do you remember in Being John Malkovich when they became John Malkovich?
Yeah.
And they saw just an inch behind what John Malkovich was seeing? That's what I'm seeing.
So you think you're somebody else living Bert Kreischer's, or at least witnessing Bert Kreischer's life?
Yeah, I had a full blood.
But you get to make decisions on behalf of Bert Kreischer, which is fucking handy.
Well, that's where I think we get into trouble.
And you get to fuck his wife.
I had a full blood panel heart exam. I did like a full doctor's visit, and I think that it was stemming from that. I think it was panic based on my lifestyle. And
did you pay for that healthcare?
Yeah.
Suck it, nerd.
Wait, but how? But so wait, when you go to the doctor, do you just go like?
Just walk. One of my jokes has always just been like, whenever my American friends come over, I just run out and go in the middle, and I just play in traffic in the middle of the street, and then the ambulance arrives, and they're like, "You again?" And I'm like, "Me again?" And then they jokingly get a bill, and they're like, "We're just kidding. Come on, we're a civilization."
So wait, when you go to the doctor, like, okay, do you have like regular physicals?
No. Yeah, I had to go.
You're only 28, so it's not.
Yeah,
pretty young.
I had to go to the doctor a couple of months ago because there was a shit ton of mucus in my shit.
In your shit?
Yeah, like a bunch of, like, it looked like I'd either come on my own shit or like I'd sneezed on my own shit. Or it looked like I'd done a shit that was about to break apart, and Spider-Man was really upset that it was about to break apart, so he webbed it back together. So I'm just looking at it and I'm like, well, there shouldn't be mucus in your shit. Like, because that's where your nose is. If shit comes out my mouth, I'm in hospital. Like, so I have to go.
Oh God, I just shit my face.
yeah, blowing your nose, but just wiping, like genuine. Does anyone have any wet wipes? I just sneezed. The fucking air freshener around my neck. So I go in because I don't go for a bit because I'm a fucking heavy drinker.
You're a man too. You're like it'll right itself.
Yeah, you look at it and you're like, well, I know what did that.
I gotta stop doing fireball shots. All right.
Yeah, it's not like if I go in there, she's like, yeah, you drink like a fucking animal. I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But eventually,
I love when they do that. By the way, I went into the doctor one time and I was like, my hands are shaking a little bit and I can't get them to stop. I think I might have MS. And he's like, you reek of whiskey. Is that maybe, are you an alcoholic? And I was like, oh, I was almost like, that's right, I forgot.
Yeah. No, so not an alcoholic, just a professional.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I've not crashed a car or killed anyone. That's when you.
I have boundaries.
Yeah, please. My mother raised a gentleman. So we just go in there. All you do is you phone up and you're like, I need a doctor's appointment. And they're like, all right, come in on Tuesday. And you walk in.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's tit for tat this.
Yeah.
If I call my doctor right now, I could see her in a month, 2 months. If I need a doctor's appointment, she could if I was sick,
yeah,
she might be able to see me. But if I need a doctor's appointment, it takes forever. I schedule my cardiologist 9 months out, like every 9 months.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
That's not how
By the
long
way,
you want to wait to have your heart checked out.
Yeah, but I do it every 9 months. When I go 9 months out, 9 months out, 9 months out. And I had to cancel my one in June, and the closest they could see me was the other day.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know what. There is someone right now losing their fucking mind going, Bert, you're a horrible representative of us Americans. It's not that bad. It's because you live in LA. It's Obamacare or whatever the fuck it is. But
look, there's so many different arguments about this. But as you've said, I'm like, this is my perspective.
Okay.
And yeah, we're just talking about the differences.
So you call up, you're like, mucus in my shit.
Well, yeah, but go through that awkward thing where you realize that you don't know the scientific words for things. Because I want to be like, there's snot in my shit. Because she's a professional. So you're just like, there's mucus in my, and I just didn't, what's the non-offensive word for shit?
Fecal matter.
Fecal matter. I went for stool.
There's mucus in my stool.
And I was like, I just feel like a fucking Victorian at this point. Like a fucking...
Especially the way you say it. There's mucus in my stool.
Governor. And... So she's like, yeah, come in like 2 or 3 days. Like if it's an emergency, they'll fucking do it straight away. There's different levels of the NHS where it's like, there's the I don't want to waste your time, but I'm a bit scared number. You're like, something's wrong, but I'm not dying. And they're like, oh, well, can you come in a week? Because we've got some dying people. And you're like, yeah, no, I can wait a week. And then you go in a week and you go in. And I said to her, I was like, here's my fucking symptoms. And she was like, it sounds like you're gluten intolerant. And I was like, no, that can't be right. I eat bread all the time. And she's like, and are you shitting mucus? And I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, you're gluten intolerant.
It can't be. I have bread all the time.
Yeah. And she was like, we could do some blood tests. And she took my blood and stuff. And she was like, we can, but it's just try gluten-free for a fucking week. And I'm like, I've made fun of gluten-free people all my fucking life.
Oh, yeah.
I can't become one of them. Like, that's the worst thing in the world. And I did gluten-free for a fucking
week.
I'd
rather be a guitar comic.
Yeah, like a fucking musical.
No offense, Dimitri.
He's not he does the guitar, but he's not a guitar comic.
Well, let's all fucking call the cheat code what it was.
Cheat code's such a good way of
fucking kills me. I would love
up, down, left, right, circle, square, circle.
Yeah. I love Dimitri. I'm not shitting on him. He won the Perrier Award.
He did, yeah.
Were you there then?
No.
Oh, yeah, that was like, what, fucking 15 years
ago?
Yeah,
I would have been fucking 13. Oh, no, I probably would have seen it. I used to go to the festival all the fucking time.
So wait, did you have to go gluten-free?
Because she went, you're gluten intolerant. I was like, okay, what does that mean? She's like, you need to go gluten free. I'm like, no, but like, if I don't, what happens? She's like, well, you're gonna shit mucus, and I'm like, and that's it. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, then I'm not gluten free then.
Pizza's like, worth it.
What's basically? Oh, my shits look gross. Who's looking at my fucking shits? I don't care.
Yeah.
But now it's getting to the point where sometimes, because it's getting a little bit worse, I just have to look at a meal and decide whether it's worth diarrhea. And 9 times out of 10. It's worth diarrhea.
Oh, man, I wonder if I'm gluten intolerant.
Have you ever? Because I apparently made myself fucking gluten intolerant because I go through periods of tour where you just drink and eat fucking shit, lots of fucking bread, pizza, whatever, and then I would go on a fucking health kick where I would, cut fucking carbs out and whatever. And what happens is your body, apparently, when you go older, your body then just forgets how to break down gluten. So I, through fucking dieting for 2 months for the past 7 years, I've now made myself fucking gluten intolerant.
Sweet, you diet?
Yeah, diet.
You're in, for those of you listening, you're like what
when I say
stone?
Yeah, wet through. Yeah. No.
How much does a stone weigh?
I weigh about 13 stone or 14 stone.
And you're what, like 140 pounds? 150 pounds?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, let me lift you up.
Yeah, you can work it out.
So you
could probably bench me. But when I say going to diet, because I'm the opposite. Because whenever I fucking drink, I don't eat. I can't eat when I'm hungover, right? So whenever I go on the road, I lose weight just because, and I get a little fucking punch. But I just drink, and also I'm 28, so my body's just like, oh, we can do this for a few more years. You keep having fun.
You can do it until you're 45.
Yeah, I've seen my dad. I know where this ends up.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
what's your dad? Is your dad a big drinker?
No, he's not a big drinker, but no, not at all. But he was skinny like me when he was younger, and then his metabolism just sort of gave up. He's not a fat man, but he's got.
Yeah. He's Scottish.
Fucking barely. Yeah, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
So whenever I go in health kicks, I mean, it's like me to put on weight. Like I'm skinny as shit. I used to have fucking muscles, but whenever I drink, the first thing my body eats is the fucking muscles. So when I come back, I'm like, I'm not in shape. People are like, but you're so fucking skinny. I'm like, yeah, but I'm always skinny. I used to be not jacked, but I used to be able to lift things up.
Yeah.
And then women started fucking me for my personality, and I was like, oh well, I never need to go to the gym again.
Wait, what kind of kid were you growing up?
What do you mean? What kind of kid?
Like I'll describe me and then you describe you.
Okay.
Growing up, I was, oddly enough, I was fairly serious. I think my comedy came out of the fact that people laughed when I was being serious.
Oh, really?
I was most funny when I was really young. I was hilarious. I just didn't know that I was being funny.
Oh, so you didn't know why you were making people laugh?
When I was, the story I always tell is like in earnest. When I was 6 years old, maybe 7, first grade, I played second base for the Yankees next to Teddy Church, and the bases were loaded and a fly ball was hit to me, and I caught it, and then I spiked it. I took my shirt off and I started dancing.
Great.
By the way, I wasn't trying to be funny. I was trying to do what I'd seen my heroes do. I thought that's what you did.
Oh, so you thought unsportsmanlike conduct was absolutely
I thought that was par for the course, and my dad was appalled, and my mom loved it, and Denny Sullivan yelled out, Put some mustard on that hot dog. And everyone laughed. And I came in and my dad's like, buddy. Because by the way, when I spiked it, everyone just cleared the bases and then we lost the game. And my dad...
I mean, that's definitely why people were laughing.
Yeah.
Because that was you celebrating this amazing thing and then you've absolutely fucked.
I've absolutely lost the entire game. But that was my personality. I would say things that I thought... that I was a very, like I wore a loincloth and knee-high moccasins until I was like 10. I'd come home.
You were a tiny little Tarzan.
I like to call myself Wild Boy. And so I would put a loincloth. I put that into a story. I have a story about this kid getting struck by lightning when I was 10. And in the middle of the story the other night, I was in Kansas City and I went, oh, by the way, in the story, I'm wearing a loincloth and knee-high moccasins. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, explain that bit more.
It wasn't until I got to high school I want you to do this for you.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I got to high school that I realized I'm not really cool. Like, I'm not as cool as I thought I was.
Yeah.
I'm not as insightful as I thought I was. And I've had periods where I've dipped back into I wrote poetry in college. I was in a band in college. But every time it always backfired on me and people laughed. I never really could be the serious guy I wanted to be ever in my entire life. And so in high school, I learned how to tell a story freshman year because it was all boys Catholic high school. So you could sit at the table and tell a story. And I learned I could tell a story. I was funny. And when I got to college, I realized, I'm actually pretty quick on my feet. And the part that makes people laugh, I can also add in other parts that make people laugh. And then I got written up in Rolling Stone as the #1 party animal, and that's what got me into comedy. And then I think my path through comedy, I've been trying to find my voice. I think I found it the most now.
Yeah.
But I think I've gotten so much better in the last 5 years.
Just to literally blow your trumpet, I fucking watched your special the other night, and it's like I've always been a fan. But that special it's real fucking good.
Thank you so much.
Really, really did.
I'm fascinated to watch your second special.
Oh, the one that breaks people up.
Because I know that There were both Edmurrow hours.
Yeah.
And Ari is a big proponent of the Edmurrow hour, and I got to be honest with you, I'm really toying with the idea of doing Edmurrow this year and doing an hour about working on Travel Channel, because I have these stories, and working it out before I go there, but then in that month crafting it.
If you like, I've always said the Edinburgh Festival is the equivalent to 2 years on the comedy circuit.
Yeah, because you guys are performing that same hour every night for 30
nights. There's no one on before you. There's no one on after you. It's just you for a fucking hour, right? And you've got to keep that audience for that fucking period of time. And obviously, there are so many great comedians that, they just do an hour of jokes, which I think those are still some of the funniest fucking shows. Yeah. Just hours of fucking jokes, no themes, no sort of through line or whatever. But then once you sort of get into it and you do the show every night, when you just say it over and over again, you realize that everything is fucking linked, and you're not forcing it to be a story, but it naturally fucking becomes one. And you don't learn that when you're doing 20-minute sets a night, or even the clubs out here are incredible. I love this scene, but you couldn't really do, I don't think, like a themed show or a full sort of in a club. They just want 45 to an hour of the fucking jokes, which is
what they want in the States. And I believe, I could be wrong, but let me just say my crowds. What my crowds want, they want to feel like it's in the moment. They want to feel like you're coming up with it. They want to hear some good stories, but they don't want to feel like it's rehearsed. They don't want to feel like it's dot 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 dot. And they want it to be thumbprinted for them.
Yeah, they want it. Yeah, but that's what the con of being a comedian is. Our whole job is to convince the audience that this is the first time we've said any of this.
Dude, Stanhope is the king of that.
Yeah, and Bert is another one where you just sort of you see it and it just you fully believe. Even as a comic, you're like, this is just a stream of consciousness. Like, it's just a hilarious stream of consciousness that's just coming out. That's, for me, is the fucking art of it.
Dude, when I went to Edinburgh, and I want to get to the boy you were to the guy you are today, but when I went to Edinburgh, Patrice and I, there are jokes that, and this is obviously probably 18 years ago, there are jokes that worked then that would never have worked in the States.
Yeah.
Like Ed Burns had a joke.
I fucking love Ed Burns.
Ed Burns was probably the coolest guy to me and Patrice at the time. He was just the nicest guy.
He was my favorite comic when I was growing up in the UK. Like, went to see him live all the time, and then we're friends now, but I've never been able to process, like, because I grew up watching.
What's he look like now? That's got to be 20 years ago.
Yeah. He's a bit older. He's looking well. He's got a bit short hair. Still got his glasses. He's got like 2 kids now. He's still doing comedy. He's still fucking great.
Millionaire.
I don't know. I've never.
He was so big at the time.
Yeah, because he had that fucking Alanis Morissette ironic routine that just went whatever the old school equivalent of viral was.
Yeah. His joke at the time that Patrice and I think we talked to Ed about this, that just would not have played in the States, but brought the fucking house down was, I'm going to do my Irish accent. I apologize, Ed, if I'm ruining this joke. Ed Burns, listen to my fucking... me went shopping with me. Now I sound like a pirate.
Lord.
Now I sound like
have you learned the Irish accents from the Lucky Charms adverts?
Yeah. Me went shopping with me girl. We's were looking for a bed. And the lady said, I got this bed. And I said, that could sleep 3. And that's all me said. Is that, the joke?
Yeah.
Well, how does it go?
I went bed shopping with my wife. We had an argument because we walked in there and she went, here's the king size bed. And I said, I could sleep 3. And that's all I fucking said. That's all I said.
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot better than my fucking rendition.
No, I enjoyed yours. It made me feel homesick.
Me jumped off me rainbow and grabbed me pot of gold.
Yeah, you seem to think that Irish people don't know the word I.
Ye said. So, but Patrice and Rich Voss and I were sat in the back and we're like, that was in New York at the time, that would have gotten, like, in the clubs we were doing. Now, we were doing a lot of urban clubs, just black people are just their taste is so different than that wordplay. I say black people in Puerto Rican, but that's who Patrice, me, and Rich were playing to at the time. And it was so disarming to watch. Russell Peters at the time was doing a 1-person show in the assembly rooms.
Oh, yeah.
It was maybe sat 100 people, Russell Peters was on the street handing out flyers to his shows. Whenever you saw Russell Peters, even if he knew you would put a flyer in your hand.
Yeah, because that's the game.
Yeah, Ali G was there.
Fuck yeah.
Ali G was walking around handing out flyers. He was outside of Leighton Live.
Yeah,
Remember, is that the place?
Yeah, Gilded Balloon, the old Gilded. You must have been at the old Gilded Balloon. Were you there before or after it burned down, the first one?
I don't know.
Oh.
There was a guy to this day that I think is one of Ross Noble.
Yes, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that guy fucking blew me and Patrice away.
He's fucking great.
Voss didn't drink, so he never stayed out late.
Yeah.
Patrice didn't really drink, but he always stayed out late because there was always a chance of getting food late. So me and Patrice did everything together with his girlfriend. His girlfriend had dated a Scottish... Or no, his girlfriend at the time was Scottish.
Oh.
His girlfriend at the time was Scottish. And so we had all these rugby players we'd hang out with. And we went to Leighton Live and we watched Ross Noble. And he did the thing that we went up to him afterwards. We're like, dude, you'd murder in New York. And he was like, has no ways of getting naive, nothing.
Yeah,
whatever he said.
Yeah,
and so
in his Geordie accent.
he did this bit about the theme song for Murder, She Wrote. He was like, once I get it stuck in your head, it's stuck in your head for the rest of the day.
Okay.
And he did the theme song for Murder, She Wrote. And then he'd do a joke and he'd go back in the theme song and all our brains were still singing the theme song of Murder, She Wrote. And he's like, I told you. It was like, but he was wearing it was like a prop act. He was wearing like ski goggles and like a big like.
Yeah, he still hadn't fully found his voice yet.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what he's doing.
Oh, he's huge in
Really?
Yeah, he's huge in Australia and huge in the UK now.
Is he Australian?
No, he's Geordie. He's the same as Kai.
What's Geordie?
Geordie's Newcastle. So that's basically the furthest north you can go in England before you get to Scotland.
Okay.
So it's Newcastle. They're the ones with the fucking weird accents. Like when you meet Kai, I know Kai obviously very well over the years, so I can understand him fully. I look forward to you meeting Kai because you will click on, but there'll just be points when you just go, dude, slow the fuck down. Like,
Really?
there's points when Kai and Ari are talking, and I can just see in Ari's eyes, he's like, I missed 7 of the words there, and at this point, it's an IKEA conversation. Like, I'm just going to try and piece the bits together and work out what you actually fucking meant.
So, what kind of guy were you growing up to? Like, to who you are today, and is there a connective tissue that you find in your personality today that was there when you were a young kid?
Yeah, I was a fucking horrible kid, and not in any sort of any sort of like violent way, but I had fucking, it's not necessarily evil thought. This makes me sound like a fucking sociopath, but like
right now everyone's like, did you spot trains?
Yeah, no. I don't know why, but I was an unreasonably fucking angry kid. I remember, and I have a very happy upbringing. My parents are together. I have the most loving family in the world.
Brothers and sisters?
My sister passed away when I was 9.
How?
And I was in, I talk about that in my show. And then
Not the one I saw.
Which one?
I saw
Dark?
the first one.
Oh, Dark is the one where I speak about my sister. Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
where?
The entire last 20 minutes.
Oh, well,
you must have watched Jigsaw instead then.
No, maybe I did.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So what was? I might probably saw Jigsaw. What? How did your sister pass?
Oh, she had cerebral palsy, so it was just health complications.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I dated a chick with cerebral palsy.
Yeah, she was disabled.
And I took her to Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But she had very mild.
Oh,
cerebral
Josie
palsy.
had like the severe fucking cerebral palsy and stuff like. But that was so. Josie was 2 years younger than me, so I was raised. I went from like being an only kid to my parents then having a severely disabled daughter, and my mum. I've spoken to my mum in deep detail about this. She was like, she feels bad because when Josie came around, Josie needed a lot of care, so she felt they ignored me or something. So I became quite independent just because Josie was in hospital constantly because cerebral palsy is a fucking bitch and she has seizures and whatnot. But that was just the fucking life I was used to. So I became quite, and my mum travels a lot with work, so I was always quite independent and sort of have to be alone. And we always made jokes about everything. Like, we found my sister's situation the funniest thing in the world. And like, one of the bits I didn't put in the special, the first time I made my parents laugh accidentally after Josie died was the day of the funeral. I wasn't allowed to go to the church service because I was an angry little atheist, and they just didn't trust me to not be like, this is stupid. Like, it doesn't matter that it's stupid. It makes everyone else in the family happy, you selfish little cunt.
Yeah.
But I was allowed to go to the bit where they fucking bury her, and the hearse turns up. Now, I'm 9 years old. I've never seen a fucking hearse before. The hearse turns up, and just my 9-year-old eyes apparently light up, and I just went, limo. And my parents went, "Well," and I'm like, "That's a fucking limo." And they're like, "It's not a limo." Right? And I'm just like, I've seen cartoons. That is absolutely a limo. And I was I was smiling in this fucking heart. My parents are just like, "We've raised a fucking idiot. The wrong one died." Like, this is just like. And I get there and my teachers are there, and I'd never seen teachers outside of school, so I'm just waving to my parents like, he's not processed fucking any of this.
Great.
So I was always raised with like, and my parents found that so funny, and everyone found it so fucking funny. You laugh at the fucking sad and tragic. Whenever something bad happens, it's a race to make the first joke that makes people laugh.
Well, right? I think there's a weird thing about normalizing stuff that isn't normal to other people, and it's one thing I've never been able to put my finger on it. I have a bit about it, about white knighting things, about when you go in and go, whoa, you don't get to make jokes about that. And they're like, hold on, and then you find out, like a friend of mine, I won't say his name, worked at an institute, a place for Down syndrome, where they had Down syndrome. He worked there, and one night we all were telling stories, and he told a story about working there, but he missed a very integral part of saying that he worked there because his brother had Down syndrome.
Yeah.
And that's how he got the job. He just left that out.
Well, he got the job because he knew a guy?
Yeah, because he knew a guy. He should have put that in. I'm going to tell him. But and he was making jokes about it, about the experience, and people just thought he was making jokes about it, and he got really angry.
It was because people get offended on behalf of other people. It's people have done. I've genuinely done a TED talk on offense and people getting offended on behalf of other people, and people go, "You can't because it's empathy." And I'm like, you can't transfer offense. I often think people get offended by things I truly believe it comes deep down from a fucking bad place. When people get offended on behalf of disabled people, this is a bit I say in the show, you have deep down, the reason you're getting offended is because you think those people are weaker and need to be protected, and you've nominated yourself to protect them, and they didn't. And I find that 1,000 times more fucking condescending. Nobody asked you to do that. You don't get to be like, you can't. That person who I've offended, they're allowed to say that offended me, and in that case, we'll have a fucking discussion. I'll apologize once I understand why what I said fucking upset you. But you don't. Oh, my friend's sister's son is autistic, so I'm offended on behalf of him. No. Your friend's sister's allowed to be offended. This fucking son's allowed to be offended. And also, if people who have grown up with anyone who's got any form of illness in their life, and I'm talking anywhere from if your parents or people you know have had cancer, those are the people with the darkest senses of humor, and they never get to let it out, because when you're going through grief and stuff and you're going through this hard time, all you want to do is fucking make jokes because it normalizes it, and people don't let you, right? They wrap you up, and I remember when my fucking people wouldn't say the word sister in front of me, like, because and I'm like, no, fucking, I want my life to go back to normal so I can process this in a normal way. And also, like, fucking dark jokes it's people think you're belittling a subject, right? But when you make fun of something, right? I agree in a sense. But when you belittle a tragedy, what you're doing is you're making it seem smaller, right? You're literally making it smaller. And by doing that, it has so much less power over you. The second you laugh at something, it's fucking ludicrous. Like, if you have, like, I remember my friend had a fucking cancer diagnosis, and the second they learned to fucking laugh at it, it was just so much. And then all we do is make fucking cancer jokes at them. Just every time you've been like, "Can I book you in for next year?" "I don't think we'll be able to book you in for next year." And outside of that conversation, people were listening and they get fucking upset. But why are you trying to stop me laughing?
My buddy Keith had a stroke. He's a comic in New York. I think he's talked about it. It's not a big deal. He's fine now. But he had a stroke, Keith Robinson, and Bobby Kelly texted me and said, "Hey man, just a heads up, Keith had a stroke." And I wrote back, he goes, "Just a heads up, Keith had a stroke, but he's fine." And I wrote back, "Is it worse than Patrice's?" and Bobby wrote back and he was like, "Wow."
That's good. But I live for that. I love the jokes. I love fucking going over the...
Dude, when Ralphie died, Segura posted a picture on his Instagram, and the title was, "Ralphie, you were one of the best. You're one of the greats. I miss you, brother. Safe travel, whatever." And then put a picture of me. But that's the way a comic's brain works. I have a bit about people standing up for, like, people getting offended on behalf of people. But I always get caught up in the introduction to it, because I feel like I find it to be absolutely offensive when you get offended on behalf of someone.
Yeah. I find it so upsetting that you're like, no, I'm going to do it before them, because they don't have the strength, they don't have the soundness of mind to be upset on their own behalf, so I'll do it before them because I'm more educated than they are. I also think there is nothing more, and I say this as a huge fucking narcissistic ego, there is nothing more narcissistic than being offended by comedy. What you've done as a person is you've gone out to see a comedian.
You are, by the way, you are winning every single one of my fans right now, because they're like, that is the one through line you will have on podcasts. You can talk about, like, Aisling. I love Aisling. I think she's fantastic. She's
great.
But you know, when you start, like, getting into gender politics, and I think a lot of people start digging their heels in the sand. The one thing in the podcasting universe that is universal is, like, dude, being offended by comedy is straight up narcissism.
Yeah, you sit there and you go, this person who doesn't know me, has never heard of me, they said that thing just to upset me. If I say something that upsets you, in your head you're going, Daniel Sloss knows who I am, knows my life situation, he knows I listen to this thing, or he knows I'm going to see him, and he specifically wrote this thing to fucking upset me and only me, and you know what, it worked and now I'm upset. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, and also, if you're fucking offended, I get offended by things, and I just go, oh, now I'm offended.
Do you want to hear something fucking insane? So this blew me the fuck away. Is the what are you smoking?
It's just nicotine. I'm a fucking vapor, and I get so much shit for it, rightfully so. But, like, it's the only good thing I'm doing to my life that people insult me with. I'm like, I'm trying to quit smoking. They're like, you fucking vape, you gay, you vape. I'm like, I'm trying not to die. I'm cutting out one of the things in my life that's...
How long are you here for?
I'm in LA until Monday.
Okay, you smoke marijuana?
Fuck I.
What's that?
Fuck
mean?
I. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I means yes. So fuck.
Do you have a vape pen?
The guy I stay with does. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna give you one. I have a bunch floating.
In that case, I'll absolutely. Then in that case, no, I don't have one.
The thing that drives me fucking nuts is this is what I was gonna say. So everyone can have opinion on it. I know everyone's split on this, but the Serena cartoon that came out that was in the Herald Sun.
In Australia.
In Australia. By the way, I grew up in the South. I found that racist, but I grew up in the South. But I'm not stamping that guy as a racist. I'm just saying, as a regular person, what I think a regular person does is they see it and they go, "Ooh, that's a little fucked up."
Yeah, that was my reaction. Like, it made me. I was like, "Oh," you just went, "You really fucking missed the mark with that."
I thought so. Now,
but when they doubled down, you were like, "Oh, and now it's racist."
No, when they doubled down is when they got my respect. I was
really?
I was like, "Oh yeah," because I want. Here's what I that's not my point of bringing this up. I like an employer standing behind his artist. I like that his artist says, I was not being racist. This is my take. I've done this across the board, and I stand by the art I create. And I stand by that because I will say fucked up things on podcasts. I will say fucked up things on stage. I will say things that actually cross the line.
Yeah.
But I would hope as my fans, as my employers, the people who come to see me, that they will stand behind me and go, I know Bert. I know he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to still keep coming to see him because even if he is wrong, and he admits that he's wrong, but he's saying he's not right now, I know that he's got a good heart.
Yeah.
I love when they double down. Now, here's what's fucking fascinating, right? This is a little subreddit of this thing. So I do get obsessed with that stuff. I don't talk about it on my solo podcast because it doesn't, I feel like it alienates people. It causes rifts more than it gets me views. So I got into reading what people wrote. And a guy wrote, she threw a temper tantrum. The girl had a blonde ponytail. I think the cartoon's fine. Call a spade a spade.
I mean, the language there.
Yeah, right? Now, but here's what's interesting. Fucking white people blow up on this dude.
Yeah.
How fucking dare you? How dare you? And I guess this guy must have lived in Tasmania or somewhere. One of those...
in Australia,
And he was like, what? what do you call a shovel? And the guy's like, huh? And he's like, that's a saying. And then he took it and then posted it. And then a black person went in, by the way, and goes, hey man, he may not have black people where he lives, and he may have never used that term to refer to a black person. He may think he's really call a shovel a shovel.
Yeah. He just chose the exact wrong.
A black person jumped in to this white fight fucking white knighting of it, and goes, hey guys.
I don't think he meant that.
I don't think he meant that. Look where he's from, and I'm not. I say Tasmania because on the net, because apparently, they're just horrific human beings.
Yeah,
they're the fucking Alabama on steroids. By the way, I can't wait to tour Tasmania.
It's great.
I can't wait to tour Tasmania. I think I'm going to murder in Tasmania based on her depiction of Tasmania. I think I'm going to fucking light the room on fire. They're going to be like, wow.
You'll enjoy Tasmania.
He can take insensitivity to the next level.
But I also think the other thing a lot of people miss is the intent. Like, I think we've become too fucking focused on words. Like, the thing I've always said, words are not inherently offensive, right? They get used. So basically, when my sister was born, the doctor said to my mother, she was like, your daughter's a spastic, right? Because that's the fucking medical term for what Josie had. She was a spastic, right? She was spasticated. But the problem is, a bunch of cunts heard the word spastic and started calling people who weren't spastics, and now we all get uncomfortable by the use of the word spastic. There was no evilness in that fucking word until cunts started using it to demean people that weren't spastic. And now, and I can guarantee people can see you now, it's a fucking word that makes us all fucking flinch. Intent changes words, right?
I miss that word so much.
It's a funny fucking word.
Spaz.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, they would chant spaz, but I didn't know that that's what it came from.
But but it's also like, for me, when people say the word spaz, right, and this is again other people getting, and I would say the same with the word fucking retarded, right? My sister was retarded. Again, if you go back to how the word started, she was mentally retarded. It means late. It comes from the French word retarded, which means like slow, right? Slow, sorry. That's all it means is slow. And but then a bunch of people started using the word fucking retard to call people who weren't retards retard, and now retard is an offensive word. But as someone who grew up with someone who was a spastic and a retard, when you say those words,
even you saying that about your sister, I hear it and I go, I go, whew.
Yeah, but we both know I love my sister.
Yeah.
So there's no, when I use those words, there's no hate in them.
Yeah.
Right? And unfortunately, I would never use them I would never use them on stage because I can't be arsed fucking putting this caveat in each every time I explain my thing. But whenever you say the word retard, I don't think of my sister. Yeah. When you go, if you were to call someone retard, I would go, oh no, my sister. I go, oh, fucking Trump, right? Words can change.
Yeah.
And I just think it's, but then again, on the other side of things, I guess, I've never had the word, I guess, as somebody who's not disabled, fully able-bodied, I've never had that word shouted at me in a genuinely malicious way. So I guess I don't, know from that side.
I think that was Segura had a bit about it, and Stanhope, I think they both had very similar bits about it, about, but it was about the intent, the definition becoming the thing the guys say about it, that like whatever you call them now, that's what I'll call my friend.
Stand up. Yeah, whatever word you change it to, I'm gonna use that one because you chase it down that fucking rabbit hole.
Here's where I'm gonna slippery slope, because and correct, just right my boat, because I'm okay with a hint of political correctness.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I'd say I'm okay with political correctness, but I think nowadays that means that you are far left liberal, like Evergreen University chanting, unfold your arms. Like, you're standing in a threatening posture.
Yeah, I don't mind political correctness if you say, oh, by the way, you using that word upsets me. Because, like, for example, right, the word faggot, right, I think it's a funny fucking word. I would never use it on stage. I would never use it as a genuine insult. But with my gay friends, we use the word all the time around each other because they know that there's no malice intent, and it's, the way joke works. But I would never say it on stage because I've never had that word shouted at me with maliciousness and hatred intent. So I just wouldn't. So if I don't want to accidentally offend someone. If I intend to offend you, yum, 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 yum. And I can do it without any of the bad words. Like, if I intended to offend you, I'd make you fucking cry, right?
Yeah.
So for you to be like, you offended me, I'm like, no, you got offended. If I offended you, you would be reevaluating your entire fucking life. Never doubt.
That's funny. You offended me. No, you got offended.
Yeah.
Trust me. That was shrapnel from what I was trying to do.
Oh, you want to get offended, cunt? I'll fucking offend you, and I will. I'll go to the core. You think I can't cut deep? The secret to insulting someone is you never go for their first two insecurities, because those are the ones they were insulted for their entire life. You go for the third one.
That's
the one they think people don't know, and
that's
you
why I
ram it home.
can't do roast comedy, because I say the thing that isn't funny. It just hurts, and I'm not good at the thing that, like, I go for the thing where they go, hey man, easy, and you're like, and I'm also such a nice guy that I think people go, wait, you thought that?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. It's an interesting statement. I didn't try to offend you. You got offended.
Yeah.
I used to say about
also, if I wanted to offend you, I wouldn't have to try. I'd fucking do it, and I'd nail it. If I wanted to offend the world, I could do it. I reckon, in under 10 words.
Yeah.
Like, if I really wanted to offend people, you think I'd need an hour to do it? You think I'd need a fucking Netflix special to offend everyone? I'll do it in under 5 fucking minutes.
I have an ability. Do you ever go too hard at an audience too quick? Like,
100%.
Someone gives you something and they catch you off and you
Snap.
light in, but almost like you didn't, like the most notorious one I've ever heard. Probably the most I say egregious, I don't mean it like that. I'll always side with comics, even when they're fucking totally wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Michael Richards, is that he wasn't a comic. None of us sided with him because he was coming in and taking our spots and kind of being a dick. And I think when that went down, like if that was Dave Chappelle, everyone would have been like, when Daniel Tosh went down, everyone defended him. Yeah. Everyone defended Tosh.
Yeah, because we stick together, and also it could be any one of us. Any
fucking one of us.
Anything we've said could be taken out of context, and also, like, I've had horrific opinions in the past. I probably have some horrific opinions now that I'm going to disagree with in the future when I get further fucking educated.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to. We're all fucking learning. So if people go, you said this, you're like, yeah, I was a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, and I don't, the reason you want me to apologize isn't because you're going to accept my apology. The reason you want comedians to apologize is because they upset you and they had power over you. And you want them to apologize because it's a power trip. And that's why I will refuse to apologize. I will make the changes. I'll learn my lesson. I'll change my language. I'll donate to whatever fucking charity the thing I upset. And I will actively try and improve myself as a person. But I will never fucking apologize because I know that it's a power trip for you. You're not making me apologize because you were the one upset or offended. I had power over you and you hated that, and now you want power over me and you want me to bend the fucking knee, and you can absolutely suck a dick.
I'm fucking obsessed with this opinion.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with this because I feel that's what happened with the Norm thing, is that he didn't even do anything and they wanted him to bend at the knee.
Yeah, and he, like, I think, because it was an article as well. Like, it was
an article, and he was taken out of context. He was taken out of context, and he was misrepresented in the way I saw it go down.
Yeah.
He was misrepresented. Now, even after that, I think Norm probably made one of the most hilarious apology tours that will ever go down in history.
What was that?
Oh, did you follow it the way I followed it daily?
No, I didn't.
Norm is everyone listening to this knows I am a ride or die motherfucker with Norm. Norm has made me laugh so many times. There are jokes I tell to people at, like, dinner parties when they're like, and I go, this is a Norm joke, you're gonna love this. And Norm is he's one of first of all, he's the sweetest guy you'll ever meet in the world.
Yeah, I would imagine that.
The sweetest guy in the world, and very kind. When I first met him, and I don't even know if he was being truthful, but he was like, hey, I walked in the backstage in the green room and he goes, Bert Kreischer, huge fan, and gave me a hug. By the way, he didn't need to say that.
No.
He was probably lying, but it made me feel so good. And I went, dude, and he didn't even know what a huge fan I am.
Yeah.
So he said in an article, he's promoting his Netflix thing, and I'm sure, by the way, he wouldn't even want me rehashing this because he's like, let it go away.
Yeah.
But I think it's fair to defend him in that he was trying to say he was working with Roseanne when Roseanne's shit went down. He called Louis and he said, I don't know. He said to Roseanne, I don't know how to handle this. I've never been in this situation. only Louis's been in this situation. I know you went hard at Louis, and I know you and Louis aren't friends, but let Louis call you and talk to you about what you're going through. No one's been through this, not even the victims. That was this statement, meaning no one's had everything taken away from them instantaneously, professionally, and been shamed. He was talking about globally about this experience Roseanne was going through.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to claim that what she was going through was anything comparable to
the victims. He was not trying to, but it got taken out of context, and it was two different statements. So it was his front statement, then some verbiage, and then his second statement. And even myself was like, when I read it, I went, okay. Norm said this. Even victims definitely go through much worse than what. You could argue whether or not how victimized Louis's victims were, considering that they all consented to him masturbating in front of them, and you could argue the ins and outs of that. I won't, because I don't have a dog in this fight.
Also, I don't value my own opinion on it. Like, people have been like, "What do you think about the whole situation?" I'm like, I have my opinions, but I don't want to give my opinions on them because people will disagree with me, or cunts will fucking agree with me. That's the worst.
That is the fucking. I would rather people disagree with me than certain people agree with me.
Yeah. And it's like
that's almost a better way to get people to apologize, is have those cunts come up and agree with you. And you're like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I got this so wrong.
Time.
Yeah. And I'm still trying to work out, because it's so black and white, but it's also still so complex.
When we get done this podcast, I want to share some secrets with you.
Okay.
That you're gonna fucking love.
Okay.
That are so fucking good about how people. That's a bit. You got to do it. That's a bit, man. That's a bit.
Well, whenever you say something,
I would much rather have people disagree with me and protest me than certain sects of America agree with me.
Yeah, you just go, I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to
really fucked up. I know no one's protested yet, but I saw someone agreed with me, and I'm not happy with that.
Look, I saw his Twitter handle, and I can only say I am wrong. I had 100 people explain to me in words why I was wrong, but just seeing one guy agree with me, I was like, I fucked it. I absolutely fucked it.
Oh my God, that might be I'm almost passed out. I just almost passed out. That might be the most brilliant statement I've heard all fucking day. I'm not even joking. That's your thought. That is.
Oh, is that my bit?
I'm almost certain you came up with it. We just sat here.
We can listen back, but I'll take it.
Dude, that is fucking brilliant. I would almost. That is. If you ever get in trouble, you apologize. Okay, here's the deal. Let's do this. Okay. Yeah. If either right now, this is ours. Yeah. Me and Daniel, this is ours. You can't take this. Kai's allowed it. Ari's allowed it. Segura's allowed it.
Whichever one of us gets in trouble first.
Yeah. Any of our close friends, any of our close group, first one who gets in trouble, their apology should be. I understand a lot of people protesting. I don't really care about that. What really bothered me is this guy. This
real piece of shit stood up for me, and that's when I realized.
GunsAgainstChildrenInAmerica.com. He actually supported me, and I am sorry. I've made a mistake. I've got the wrong people agreeing with my thoughts, and I need to reassess and take some time for myself. Oh fuck! If Louis was like, okay. I know there are a lot of people that think I did this wrong. I didn't think so until Harvey Weinstein said I didn't do anything wrong. And then I'm like, okay, I did something wrong.
I really fucked up. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I love that. I fucking love that. That makes me excited. When you get like a bit, that just makes me excited where I go.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait to do it. Oh. Or the first time you do it and it doesn't work and you've got that. I love the stubbornnness of fucking comics, right? It's a line I always use whenever I'm doing new material and I do a new joke that doesn't work. Right? I'll turn to the audience. I go, I've been a comedian for 11 years and you've been an audience for 45 minutes. I'll tell you what's fucking funny.
Dude, I've said, and by the way, neither of this, I hope that neither of these come out of arrogance. It's just, if I went into your job and said, I want to start welding, and you're like, hold on one second. You've never welded before. I know you've seen it on Bikers Build Off, but it's a little different than what you think. You can't just wear sunglasses.
But my friends told me I would be a good welder.
Yeah. And I will say, think of things in the moment that are really horrific, like really horrific. Yeah. But they make me giggle because that's my brain.
The darkest jokes are the genuine funniest ones.
Oh, and I will giggle, and they'll like, audience is always like, say it, and I go, no, I know your sense of humor better than you do. I know what will offend you. I know what will turn you, and will fuck the night up. Yeah. Like I remember doing that one time. There was a joke I really liked about Louis had about, and I just had a baby about. He goes, and it was what I was going through at the time. So I was changing diapers, and he goes, the hardest part about having a daughter when they're babies is cleaning the shit out of their cunts. And he just kept saying shit and cunt. And I was about to do a read for some fucking late night talk show. It was a test pilot, and I saw the video online, and I was giggling about it, and they were like, "What is so funny?" I go, "It's a joke. I don't think it's appropriate for a room." And everyone's like, "No. We all got good senses of humor." I was like, "I don't know if it's appropriate." And they're like, "Come on, do it." And so I said, "It was Louis." He's like, "Shit or cunt," and everyone's like, "Oh," and I was like, "Oh, I knew better than that."
I do. Yeah, I we're all fucking. I mean, this is absolutely going to sound egocentric, narcissistic. We're fucking conductors. Like I know how far I can push you, right?
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong. Sometimes I absolutely get it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely. I've definitely thought that you guys would like things that I've put out, and then I'm like, nothing.
Yeah. There's sometimes I'll be like, oh, and I can tell from your reaction. But there's sometimes when you don't react, and I go, no. I know I can make that work.
That happened to me last night. Hold on 1 second. Last night. The joke was, it's a story about being on a plane with a doctor one time, and I was a comedian, and it was a new workout room at Sycamore Tavern, and I was it's like maybe not even joking, like 10 people in the audience,
yeah.
And I said I used to tell people I was a comedian a lot more then than I do now. I wasn't even a comedian, and then I realized there's probably open micers in the room that are like, man, I'm a comedian, and then I defended it, and I was like, meaning like I just wasn't doing it professionally. Now when people ask what I do, I go, oh, and I used to have a joke about saying, oh, I'm an abortion doctor, and then there was a joke that I'd lead into. But last night I knew that had been on an album or on my last special, and so I changed subjects, and I said, oh, I invented the rhombus. I knew this was funny. I just didn't know how. Like I was looking, the correlation I was trying to make was I written a Christmas Carol, but I was like, don't write a Christmas Carol. I think that was about a boy. This is all happening in the moment of my head. Yeah. That was in about a boy. I think that he wrote a Christmas Carol and he made money. And then I was like, no, that's not a Christmas Carol. What would you invent that no one can really check up on? And then I was like, the rhombus. And then as I said it, I went, that's funny. Why aren't they laughing? And then I went, no, because I'm too young to have invented the rhombus. but I'm going.
That in itself is the fucking joke. First of all, the rhombus must have been invented.
Right. Yeah. And then I went, no. And then I went, you guys are missing it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my great grandfather invented a rhombus, so anytime it's in a textbook, I get residuals. And then they laughed, and I went, I knew that was funny. You motherfuckers. Had I been younger, I would have bailed on it. But I was like, I don't care. I don't mind the silence, especially with 10 people. It was a great fucking room last night.
Yeah.
Like, dude, 2 amazing rooms. The store. Have you hung out at the store at all while you've been here?
No. I've done.
Dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But every time I'm here, it's like, because I've always just been coming over for like hit and run sort of things, like come in, do a show, and then leave. It's been a while since I've stayed here. I'm going to be over next year for a longer period of time, and actually, you'll hang out in fucking places as opposed to.
Wait. So what are you doing tonight?
Tonight it's fucking meetings and fucking the fucking Matt Kreischer used the term the water bottle tour.
I saw Matt the other night.
I went to the Jim Jeffries taping yesterday.
For his TV show?
Yeah. It's fucking great. It's real good.
Dude, he's so talented.
Oh, like Jeffries.
Fucking thing. I know that Jim would probably say, I think everyone knows I'm talented, but I think there are people that just kind of, I think that they almost think that guys like Jim are like, a liberal gun comic or, whatever. But like, dude, he is amazingly talented at just the nuance of stand-up, of standing up with a beer and running through stuff that he hasn't prepared and it being fucking phenomenal. Yeah,
he's got that real fucking conviction and stuff, and he's just got a great comic mind. Like, genuinely, he's been going for so fucking long that you just trust him, and he's one of the comics you just go, I'm in the audience, like, oh, I'm at ease. Like, I trust you.
So wait, when do you leave?
So I go to New York on Monday for 4 days, and then it's the...
So you're here for the whole weekend?
Yeah.
And then are you going you're not going to the store at all? You got to go to the store one night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see what shows they're on and see if anyone can throw you up on their show, because you got to perform in the main room. It's just fucking.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely fucking dreamlike.
It's like it is now. as good as when I did the Comedy Store in London, and that was one of the best rooms I've ever performed in my life. I mean,
because it's my thing with the Comedy Store in LA. I've heard that it can be a fucking bear pit.
Yeah, in different rooms. The OR, like, I would definitely go. If you could get a spot in the OR, do that, because you will fail, and it'll be the most insightful failure you've ever been in. Yeah. Like, I mean, you're going to put too much energy into the moment, because everyone does. Anyone that goes up in the OR the first time, everyone puts so much value on that, because that is where this comedy started in the LA scene. That was the first strictly nightclub for comedy. Like, there was before that, it was, they'd have jazz and comedy. Yeah. And then Mitzi said, I'm just doing comedy. They had one in New York. They had like Catch a Rising Star, I think. And then Mitzi started the store, and it was the OR. And the OR is just, there are times where you go up. If you have a bunch of cheat codes, if you can do what seems like crowd work and slide in a bit, it works. If you can interact with an audience, it really works. But if you're going up really working on material, which I believe, in my opinion, is how you use that room to its. If you go up and you go, these are new bits. Yeah. This is why I'm here. Here are new bits. Then that room is so fucking valuable. The main room, you'll fucking murder. You'll murder. You'll walk out. Your ego will be swollen. You'll be like, holy shit. Depending on who you follow. Like, if you follow D'Elia or Bobby Lee, it can be an uphill battle. If you follow Burr sometimes, because Burr literally, in like a Hedberg kind of way, shifts the way their brain thinks. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, there are times where you go, okay, how am I going to get them out of Burr into me? For me, it's taking my shirt off, and then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're ready to party.
Yeah, give us the money.
But yeah, I'll, I mean, if you're interested, I'll see what shows are going, if I know anyone producing a show. The OR is kind of like spoken for every night. Yeah. But the main room, if anyone's got a show, I'll see if you can, like Tripoli or any of the guys, because they produce a lot of shows out of there, and those are fun I mean, like, and the fun part is hanging out backstage. Everyone will know you. Everyone, all the comics will know you because your special just aired. Everyone knows it's on Netflix. Yeah. But it's amazing.
My favorite fucking thing in the world is Jay. I love talking shop. I know there's so many comedians and wives of fucking comedians that hate talking shop and stuff. I love it. I think it's fucking great.
My favorite story ever is like comedy wise. Yeah. Is I go backstage at the Comedy Store in London. Yeah. Backstage is boy with tape on his face. Yeah. But he's got tape on his face, so he's not talking to me. For those of you not knowing, he's like a pantomime. Yeah. Very, very funny.
He's great. He won America's Got Talent, didn't he?
Oh, then I don't know why I'm describing him to anyone. You know who he is. For real, he won America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Okay, well then he's there. He's a very famous.
Yeah, and Sam's a fucking dude as well. That's his.
Is that his name, Sam?
Oh, he's the fucking best.
Yeah, boy with tape on his face. Which is bizarre. By the way, this is before he's famous. So I walk back and there's a guy with tape on his fucking face.
Doesn't talk. Just gets the audience interaction. It's great.
And so it really is murderous. And then like 3 dudes I don't know. I apologize if I now know you guys and I'm describing you in a bad way. And it makes, I don't want to say your names. Yeah. And don't hold it against me. But this is my recollection of the events. I have a film crew following me. Through Europe. I'm doing a documentary at the time. Yeah. In Amsterdam and London. And I go backstage. And by the way, they won't even let me in the front door at the Comedy Store. Yeah. I have a guest set. I'm supposed to do a guest set. They won't even let me in the front door. They're like, no, sorry, mate. Not on the list. Yeah. Don't know you. Have a day. Like, the way you can... Being dismissed by a British person is so much more effective. It hurts. It seems so much more bookended.
Yeah, it's because we can go from very polite to you're literally being told off. We're like a fucking headmistress,
like a fucking switch of a hair. Yeah. And so I go. That's not even say. And so I go, all right, fuck it. And then finally the DJ comes out and he's like, oh, we got you. I know you're coming. Okay, come on. And he was like, look, 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you're doing good, I'll give you 7. But 5 minutes. And I was like, okay. By the way, in my head, I'm like, I don't think I've ever done 5 minutes. Like, I've done 5 minutes for late night, but I'm like, what am I going to do in 5 fucking minutes? And then I was like, all right, let's just get him going, and then I'll do 7 and I can tell another joke. Yeah. So I go backstage, and and it's like the real cuntiness of comics backstage.
Yeah,
it's
because they don't know you, and
they don't know me.
They've got no respect for you because they've not seen you. They don't know who you are. You're just some fucking yank that's come to our comedy store.
Yep.
Yeah.
And by the way, there is just to be fair to the Comedy Store in London, there is a plague of mediocre comics from this country not cutting the fucking cheese in the States and heading over to London going, I'm a big comedian in LA.
Yeah.
And everyone going, they've heard enough of that.
Yeah.
And so they're like,
it's a tale as old as time.
Yeah. And so I go on the switch of a hair, which isn't even a fucking thing, and you go, a tale as old as time. And I'm doing once again horrible accent. The guy's all right, mate.
That's a good
bring
one.
up. Keep mind the light. And I go, here's number one thing. Tight, fast, get in, get out, mind the light, 5 minutes. Yeah. All right, gonna bring you up. But I'm telling you one thing, this is the greatest club in the world. If you want to walk internationally, and by the way, I have no interest in working internationally, none whatsoever. I don't like flying. I don't want to do Dubai. I probably will never come back to the Comedy Store, only meaning like I'm not flying back here to do spots. This is my one time to do it. I'm just here. I want the experience. And he's like, and you better crush this. All right. And I was like, yeah. I go, hey, black jokes work really good here, right? And he goes, oh God, don't even know what you're talking about. We don't even we're not obsessed with race the way you guys are. And I'm joking. There's no black people in the fucking audience. Yeah. And then I go, okay. I go, what, 20 minutes? I'm fucking with the guy a little bit. And he goes, oh God. Oh, like really upset. He's the compare. And he's he's like, listen, mate, you mind that light. And I go, okay. So I go on stage. And I'm not even joking. By the way, I have it on tape.
Oh, no. Like, tell me you destroyed it.
I ripped the pussy out of that room. It was fucking, that was a horrible statement. But
but the people be like, that's a horrible statement. You go, yes, that's why it's funny.
Yeah,
Sometimes things are funny because wouldn't it be funny if this was my opinion?
I didn't just grab him by the pussy.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I do 7 minutes. I get the light at 7, and as soon as I get the light, I wrap up the joke. Thank you, good night. I go backstage, and they're all sitting there. Boy with tape in his mouth is like kind of like still
just
not talking.
Up.
Yeah.
Great job.
Great job. And the one guy goes, the guy who was busting my balls the hardest is like, I guess you've done this before, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh, you're really good. And I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah. And in my head, I was like, yeah, I've been doing it for a very long time, but then I just left. It was a really great night. It's a really great club.
It's real good, and it's that level of fucking vindication of when there's fucking doubters and whatnot, and then you just fucking it's narcissism to the point of no return. But fuck me dead, what a juicy donut, dude. I wish I'd known this. I would have forced you to come to the store last night. Yeah, it was a great hang last night. Yeah. I'm not drinking. I am drinking, but I'm just not. I just got my blood results back yesterday, so I was like, I'm healthy. Yeah. I was like, okay, you know what, Bert? Let's not go rip one tonight. Let's fucking and Bert was like, smoking cigars, having a fucking cocktail. You want to have one? I got one with your name on it. And part of me is like, of course. Yeah. Then the other part of me is like, or do I want to play softball with my children when I'm 60? Like, that's an adorable way of playing it. That's
by the way, they're gonna be like 20.
But you're not gonna. Yeah. Let's play catch, Dad. I have kids. No, come on, play with me.
But yeah, I gotta get you to the store tonight.
Oh man, I'd fucking love it because again, I love fucking drink. I think you're one of the few fucking comics that I drink like a king, right? I can. Me and Kyle, we call it the sesh, right? I'm one of the undeniables on the sesh, and I love getting fucking cunted and maggot and all the other different euphemisms.
I feel like I should go to the store tonight. Just fucking.
Well, I've got.
What time's your?
Well, I've got, and I'm meeting other friends tonight. That's the thing. Cause I hate coming for such short periods of time here because I'll have 5 nights, and there's so many people here that I love and I have to see.
When are you in New York?
I'm in New York Monday.
I'm in New York Monday.
Fuck I.
I get in Sunday.
Well, I'm there Monday. I think I'm there from Monday until Friday.
God damn it.
I'll check my thing after this.
I fly in Sunday. I'm there Monday, and then I leave Monday and go to DC.
Fucking DC.
Yeah.
I've done DC. I was at Trump's inauguration in DC.
Really?
Yeah. I got booked for a comedy club, which I can't for the life of me remember the name of the comedy club. But my mate, Eric Lamper, who's a comedian who was opening for me, just went, do you know where in DC when Trump gets inaugurated. And I was like, you absolutely shut your fucking mouth. That's not true. And he was like, yeah, no, he's there. And I was like, well, we have to go.
Fuck yes.
We have to go. And we went, and as someone who was there, when we saw, because we didn't realize how fucking, because it was still like a big fucking crowd, but it was afterwards.
It was the biggest inauguration they've ever had in the United States.
But when we saw
by the way, fucking Trump has defined what we're talking about refusing to bend at the knee.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all he's done. I want to say, I wonder if...
you know what? Now that you've mentioned that, this is now that moment where I realize my opinion's wrong. It's come, the fact that that's Trump's stance. I'm like, I take it all back. What a horrible stance to fucking have. I was so mistaken. This has come.
Oh, how fucking great. How fucking great. So wait, you went to the inauguration?
Right. And I'm gonna, look, this is going to sound bad, but don't give a shit. We went because we thought he was going to get shot.
Really?
Yeah, of course we did. You've had presidents get shot before, and you live in a time when there's so many. Like, all we hear about America is how many guns they have and everything. I'm like, there's a small chance he's gonna get shot, and also just because it's such a weird thing. Why would you not go to that? So we went down, because also I wanted to try and talk to the Trump supporters there, because I've obviously heard all the fucking media stuff. I want to, even though I disagree with them, I want to see if I can are they actually stupid, or do they have, because all I've been told by the left side is that, oh, they're all morons, they're all racist, they're all this, and no. I want to find out if that's true.
They're not. And that's the biggest problem I have with all of this, is that I don't think, personally, I don't know Donald Trump. I don't like his politics. I'm not happy with. I can't say I'm not happy with the job he's doing, because it seems like the economy is going very well right now. I just think I think in 18 months we're gonna have another financial collapse. I really do believe that.
All the bleed over from his is, again, I never get. In fact, you know what? My opinions on politics don't matter. I'm not gonna fucking say shit, because I can't back anything up. But
it's a lot of the bleed over is what Obama did.
Yeah,
a lot of. I am personally, I'm not a fan of his.
Oh, I hate him.
But that, to say that means that if you voted for Trump, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. There are people who literally just really didn't like Hillary, and those were the two options.
That's what we realized when we were out there talking to them. People because when Obama came out, there was a genuinely big cheer, and then when Hillary came out, there was a big boo, and that's when we were suddenly like, oh, it's not that people like Trump, it's just that they hate Hillary, and that was it. We didn't know that. Also, there was one of the I find being a dick funny. Yeah. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. I think there's a real art to it. There was a Trump supporter there who was doing the finest social trolling, and it made me laugh. It was so dicky, and I disagree with this man 100%, but it made me laugh. It was just, there was people starting the chants of not my president, using their fucking free right to protest, and he was just stood beside them just going, but he is though.
Yeah.
But he is. That's what this is. That's what this but he is.
Dude, there's
that level of country. I was like, fucking,
level of country.
Oh, I disagree. I don't like that. That I don't agree with his politics. I don't agree with that. But I'm just like, that's a level of pettiness that I could really get on board with.
There is a fine line, and it's so funny. I find myself sometimes fist pumping at guys that are conservative. Like, where I go, yes, like, and then, by the way, I do the same for the left. Like, I gotta be honest, and I know this is a very fucking divisive name to say, but Jordan Peterson makes a lot of fucking sense. Like, not everything he says, but like, he does make sense. To hear Ben Shapiro argue politics with people, but a lot of times you're like, God damn it, that guy's fucking dialed in.
Yeah.
Even like someone like Steven Crowder, who I think is more. I think Steven Crowder is he's a really interesting guy. I've heard him on Joe's podcast. I've disagreed with things he said, probably more often than not. Like, I think his views on marijuana I don't agree with. I don't agree with it. But still, you hear them and you go, yes. But here's where the problem is, that I also listen to people like Lindy West. Like, Lindy West is very, very liberal, feminist, body positive. Like, she said this thing about fat shaming and about being fat, and I hope that's the right way to say it. I don't mean to call Lindy fat. if that's not what she calls it.
As far as I know from my friends who are fat and fat activists, they're like, we don't mind the word fat.
Oh yeah, what am I saying? I'm fat. What the fuck? Yeah, I get to say it.
That's our word.
I'm just dropping N-bombs on a fat people. And so, but like I hear what she says and I go, that makes a lot of sense. I used to think what was happening was the far right would confuse me so much that I thought Sean King wasn't really black. Sean King's this activist. I thought he wasn't black. I really thought he wasn't black. I thought he was like that lady Rachel Dolezal's.
Oh, Dolezal.
And so and then all of a sudden I'm like, I read his thing and they're like, oh no, he's definitely black. And I was like, God damn it, I've been discounting a guy just simply because I heard the trollings of people.
Yeah, the opinions, yeah.
But like I like hearing, if you're a comic and you can't appreciate opposing opinions, then I don't think you're a comic.
Yeah, and it's because like I like hearing opposing arguments. Like, first of all, I fucking love a debate. I love an argument. I think they're the fucking best thing in the world.
I love a debate
so much, and I get so fucking passionate. Like when me and Kai argue, right? It's a debate, but we yell at each other and we sort of scream, and people go, you guys need to calm down. Like, no, you're ruining this argument now.
Yes.
Because you're deciding that, because me and Kai will swear, point, fucking get personal, and then at the end of it it's like, and now we're done, and now we're still friends, because that was a fucking healthy, fun fucking discussion. People go, oh, but it's so scary to watch, and I'm like, and that's because you're a fucking coward. If somebody challenges my opinion properly, I'm like, oh fuck, that stumped me, and I love that.
Dude,
so when somebody says something that just just floors you, and you're like, fuck, I genuinely had never considered that. You motherfucker. Now I've got to, I mean, I'm still 100% right, but now I have to go away and work out how to beat that argument. Because me, arguments are like fucking game of chess, right? Yeah. I argue the way my dad does, which is I don't have to prove I'm right. I just have to prove that you're wrong. Right? I don't have to fucking
say that. I like that.
I don't have to sit here and explain to you why my opinions are absolutely correct. All I have to do is fucking dismantle every argument you put forward, and then I'm still in the middle ground and I win.
God, that's how I fight with my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. She'll say something and I go, I can tear that apart. I would like listening to things I didn't agree with on a podcast. I would seek them out so that I could change my perspective, because I thought, if I could find the logic in their in their riddle, if I could find the logic in their argument, then I could find the way to argue that to my audience, and I could find the way to impassion people about the other side. So like
to humanize both sides. That's the thing. Like the left and the right have split so far at the moment, and I say this is when I'm left wing. I'm a very
What's
liberal.
that mean? Oh yeah.
Wing.
What am I fucking saying?
Yeah.
I thought because you're from Scotland, it might mean something else.
No. Like I'm a left wing, but I'm not the far. I fucking hate the far left as much as I hate the far right.
Thank you.
I think the far left are cancerous, but I also think the far right, both sides.
The people that are making Norm bend at the knee based on fucking virtue signaling are the same that are, by the way, and I are the exact same as the guys carrying torches. And I don't mean to. I know that theoretically the guys carrying torches are neo-Nazis. I know that, and I know that in the left they are trying to.
Oh yeah,
I know that everyone's got fucking nuance to this.
The right are a lot more, violent with it and scary. And
well, then you look at Antifa, and fucking the Proud Boys.
Antifa's pretty cool though.
Dude, I don't like.
I don't know much about Antifa. I was literally every bit of information I'm about to give you, I learned from a 30-minute podcast the other day.
That's so funny. All that I've learned is from YouTube fights.
Yeah, right. All I've learned, and this might be wrong, as most of my opinions fucking can be, but basically, here's the evidence I've gotten, and here's the conclusion I've arrived at. They're anti-fascists, and they just turn up and punch Nazis. And to me, I have nothing wrong with any of that, and it's so cool.
It's so funny when that Nazi got punched in the face, and everyone was like, "You can't resort to violence." I was like, part of me is like, "Yeah,
yes, you can."
Yeah, but. Don't you kind of sometimes think like, I might just want to punch him in the face?
Just punch a fucking Nazi. What
is happening is people are saying, and I think rightfully so, people are saying, I am a Proud Boy and I'm not a Nazi.
Yeah.
By the way, I had a really insightful conversation with this guy. I wish I remembered his name. He hosts podcast The Gist. And he said that my humanizing the Proud Boys was unfair. I just know, I know some Proud Boys.
Who were the Proud Boys?
That's what, I guess, I don't want to say that that's what people are calling the Nazis, but if I I mean, that they have to know that that's what people are saying about them. But the problem is they're not all. They're saying they're racist. I'm not Nazis. They're racist.
They're proud of being racist.
They're the Proud Boys. They started by Gavin McInnes. So I actually like the fucking name. Sadly, like, you know when a name becomes like stupid, is stupid when you hear it, and then it becomes better the more you hear it. Like, there was a gang in high school called the Cavemen.
For the nickname Proud Boys, to me it sounds so limp. Like, we're the Proud Boys.
That's where it came from.
Bloody proud little boy. Bloody chuffed is what I am.
That's what it came from. Is he went to a play for his child, Gavin McInnes did, and there was a song, I'm a proud boy, and he just made it. Gavin McInnes is the ultimate troll. That, you know who he is?
No.
It's so much better if you. I want to just switch subjects because it's so much better if you know the people involved. Because Gavin McInnes has been on Joe's podcast a bunch. He's started Vice. He was one of the guys who started Vice. So I think he's definitely alt-light, I think.
Yeah,
but
alt-light.
But I forget where I was going with this.
We've done what we always do, we said, go off 1,000 different conversations, and there's so many. I guarantee this is why I love about podcast listeners is the ones that get rich. They'll be sitting there, be like, "Go back to you didn't finish any of your fucking stories."
What's one thing we didn't finish? Anything? Okay, Halston's not even listening. He's listening to music back there.
I think.
No, I don't. I like to hear the other side. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I have a bit that I did on Conan about my daughter getting her period and throwing herself a period party, right? I shouldn't have done it on Conan because it really burned material. So girl told me don't do it on Conan. He's like, you're gonna burn the bit. I know it doesn't feel like it, but man, a lot of people have seen it. And now every time I go to do it, they're like, period party. I go, God damn it, you're yelling out the fucking punchline.
Yeah.
But there was something in it that I couldn't.
Wait, I'm sorry. I've not seen that bit. So she's threw a party because she had a period. So fucking great, good on her. That's excellent. I love that.
It ultimately So my oldest daughter got it, had melted down. My youngest daughter got it, and literally called and was like, "This is what is funny in it." She's like, "Dad, I'm shortening it." She's like, "Go to the store. I need you to get a red velvet cake. I'm throwing myself a period party."
Fuck yes, that's so funny.
Yeah, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
What a legend of a kid.
So we threw a period party. I think the hack joke I have in it is at the end, but there's a premise that I had a long time ago that I could never work out, and that was something I noticed. And by the way, I worked it out last night on stage. It made sense for the first fucking time. But the premise was, and I said it to my wife, I've said it a million times, and that is, and this is why I say listening to alternative sources of information, things that you wouldn't instinctually agree on. Like for me, it's fucking hardcore feminists. I love hearing their point of view, as much as I may disagree with certain aspects of it or nuances, simply because I'm a guy. I love hearing it because I do have two daughters, and I do try to perceive the world and go, I know a lot of my fans are just like me. Yeah. They hear certain things and they're like, easy. Come on.
Yeah.
And so the premise I had was that it was a long time ago. I realized that there's a part of my wife that she killed the little girl in her. Like the little girl was dead. Yeah. I couldn't ever find the little girl in any of my wife's friends. It was like the whole thing was that as a boy, you never lose the little boy in you. The little boy is always there. We
don't have to.
Yeah, we don't have to. And I've been working this out forever about like, you can't just push my wife in the pool. She fucking loses her shit. You can't just like, there's so many things about her. Like you could never get her to play dolls with my daughters. Like she would sit and read to them and do grown up mom things. She'd mom them, but you couldn't like, if we decided to play a game, my wife's like, guys, come on. And it was across the board. I was seeing this in women. I could never work the bit out. One of the hacky things was like, if you say to a guy in a parking lot with a football, go deep, the guy just starts running. He doesn't question it. Yeah. If you show tits to a guy, you see the little boy in his eyes like, oh fuck, I forgot these were there. And so last night, and so I've been listening to all this shit that I disagreed with. And then last night, but disagreed with because they were talking about me. And last night, I figured it out. Like I figured it out on stage. There was this girl in this audience, and I was doing the period party bit, and I go around the front row and I go, where were you? I find it interesting to find out where girls were when they got their first period.
Yeah, it's like their own very personal 9/11. They always remember.
I'm gonna steal that.
Please do.
I'm gonna steal that. That's fucking brilliant. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
Ground zero.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fucking funny. And so this girl was like at home, like 4 girls on the left were all like, I got it at home, I got it at home, I got it at home. One girl on the right, I got it at home. And then this girl in the center who didn't want to share goes, ugh, and she's like, when I was 11, in 4th grade, I was told by my mom to only wear black pants because it was coming. And so I wore black pants, and she was wearing black pants last night. I wore black pants every day of my life, and I got it at school, and thank God I was wearing black pants. And I realized, I said, because you didn't want to be humiliated by the boys if you got your period. And she's like, right. And I went, oh my God. And I was like, this is not who I am as a comic, but I go, just in the moment, I go, hey, from all the guys, I'd like to apologize because we didn't know that we were being horrible dudes when a chick got her period and we're like, oh shit, we got to bleed her. Yeah. Like, we didn't know that.
You don't know the ramifications of, because you're young, you're stupid, and you're arrogant little cocky cunt.
And my wife said to me this morning, I'm sharing it with, she goes, yeah, boys will be boys. And I went, that's the big statement I've been hearing on these podcasts I'm listening to, is get rid of the Boys Will Be Boys Club. And she goes, oh, you'll never get rid of Boys Will Be Boys. That is, boys will be boys. That is why there's still the boy in you. You're still a little boy. And she was like, and that is, there is a burden a woman carries the day she gets her period, where it's time to be a young lady. It's time to grow up. It's time to like, and it was all opened up for me, and I haven't figured it out on stage yet. Yeah. I'm going to take it this week in Madison. But I remember when Georgia got her period and I couldn't throw her in the pool. I remember I grabbed her to throw in the pool. Yeah. We had just got the pool. She's like, no, and like turned into a bitch. And I went, what? I was like, you don't talk to me like that. She's like, you don't throw me in the pool. And she matched me as a woman. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. And my wife's like, hey, let her go. Yeah. And I was like, you're not siding with her. And I was still this little boy fighting with a little girl. Yep. But that's why I love hearing opposing.
Well, I think it's important to, first of all, it's the only time you can realize that you're fucking wrong is sometimes somebody can stump you with that fucking argument. And then also it's perspective. Like, I didn't, exactly what you were sort of saying there. I started listening more and more to like my fucking female friends, because I'm just like, why don't you just do this the fucking easy way? And they go, it's very different for me. I learned, my best friend apart from Kai is a girl. Her name's Jane. I've got a lot of close female friends, and you suddenly realize the shit they sort of go through. Oh, and when they explain it to you, you go, "Oh, I'm a fucking idiot," and then I realize, "Oh, I'm not," and I'm obviously not the only fucking idiot. So,
and how long have I been an idiot to your face? Do you remember when Yes All Women came out? The hashtag, or yes, it was hashtag Yes All Women. No, it was fucking like. Line in the sand.
Oh yeah. So every woman has been has suffered several bits of sexism throughout her fucking life.
Yes, all women.
Because I was replied to the hashtag not all men are sexist.
Right. Yes.
Even though first of all men, I've been sexist before. I've got a bit of my stand up now where I'm just realizing like I've still got some inherent sexism in my head. I don't mean to have it there, and sometimes I don't realize it's there. For example, I was dating a girl a while ago, and just mid-conversation, she mentioned that she played computer games, and I was like, I'll kick your ass at computer games. I'm like, no, you don't know. She could be the fucking world champ, but because I'm a bloke, right, and I grew up playing computer games with boys, my brain still goes, girls don't play computer games. And it wasn't until the words left my mouth and she went, what the fuck did you say? I was like, I'll kick your ass at computer games. She's like, no, you fucking won't. And it was still in me. I'm like, girls are bad at computer. And it was in my head. And then me and I went to fucking play computer games, and it would be nice if she beat me, but I did fucking destroy her. Yeah. It's better for the story if she beats me, but I'm pretty good at computer games. Yeah. But it was just this...
But I'm pretty good at computer games.
Yeah, but I fucking teabagged the shit out of her in real life and then in the game. Like, she stepped up, she got knocked down, right? She was good at the game, but she played the king. Yeah. But... that was one of the moments I'm like, God, I'm still definitely sexist. There's still sexism. I don't want to be that, but it's... All men are sexist, and not in a malicious way all the time.
Yeah,
But it's, of course you are.
Amy Schumer tweeted yesterday that like, hey guys, stop saying I'm afraid to be around women at work, or I don't want to, now I don't talk to women or compliment them. And I was like, well, I don't know if you're right on that, because like I've definitely stopped like I've been more. I think what she's
just
missing.
started being more sexually aggressive to men.
Yeah, I started looking at women and just instead of catcalling them, going ugh, just fucking gross. Clean yourself up, pig.
What they start getting upset, like, which do you want? Because as a man, like, you've got two options and none of the ones in between.
I started saying I'm not afraid to talk to women. I'll always talk to women, but I definitely, and I think what guys, it's like people are missing the nuance in things. I go, guys are just now a lot more conscious of the way they're behaving, which is what everyone wanted.
Which is good. I think the fucking stance people are with, you know, everything that's happened with the fucking Me Too movement, right? Some people are coming and being like, now some young men are scared to have sex. Good. Now you know how.
Because you know what the opposite was.
Feels.
Hold her down.
Yeah.
Fuck yes. Good.
Like if people now they're young men, like just when they're out drinking with girls and they go back, they're scared to have sex with that woman because they're scared. Yeah, good. None of this is bad.
Yeah.
This is, you should also. By the way, the fucking they're like, oh, well, how does consent work? Do you ask for consent very regularly?
Yeah.
Do you want to fuck?
Are you sure? Are you cool with this?
Yeah, you
cool with this?
There's nothing like, because people go, you know, it's, you know, but it's not sexy to ask for consent. I tell you what, it's fucking sexier than sexual assault.
Yeah, dude. I said to I had this boy on stage with me, 17 years old, the other day. He won I do a raffle when I do my shows, and he won. And I was like, I go, hey man, here are the rules. I go, I don't know if anyone will tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. If a girl even hints at no, get the fuck out of the room. Yeah. Even if she's fooling around going, I don't know if we should do this, you're out. Get the fuck out. I go, do not fuck around with that shit. Because yes, there are women who fucking, I don't know, are we doing the right thing? And you know, and that, but you fucking leave the goddamn room. And the thing about like,
I think you have to leave. I think you just have a fucking, people are so scared of the fucking conversations. Like, you just sit down. I've been in situations where I'm like, do you not want to fuck? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, we can still fucking hang out. Like, I'm not, first of all, I'm not just here to bang you, even though sometimes I am, absolutely just, but we're both fucking human beings. If we don't fucking end up shagging the brains off each other, we can still fucking chill for a bit.
Yeah. And the whole thing about like, all the guys that are going, now I'm afraid to talk to women at work. Cool. Don't talk to women at work.
Yeah, because it sounds like you're creepy.
Yeah, by the way, I will still talk to women at the comedy clubs. I'm not comfortable. But I'm married with 2 kids. I've never been comfortable with women talking sex to me. There are women that will be like, I don't know. I actually know one conversation, but I can't say it because I think I'd out the human being. Yeah. But like sometimes women will say sexual stuff to you because you're a guy and they feel comfortable with you. Yeah. It doesn't make me comfortable. I'm because I'm married. I don't know where you're getting with this. Like you can just say hi to me. How your girls? That's fine. But I will tell you, I am definitely more conscious of like little things. Like I used to do this thing. No one's ever fucking complained. But when I do a meet and greet, at the end, I put my arms around anyone. And if it was a girl, I'd always like give her a little extra, like not a rub, but like this is going to sound so fucking pervy, but like almost like a pat on the back, like a, hey, thank you very much. Like a little, like acknowledge of affection. I wouldn't like rub her or grope her, but like maybe my finger would move a half inch a little, but I wasn't doing it to guys. Yeah. And I noticed that I was doing it to girls. And I thought, why are you doing this? Like you're just letting them know, hey, thank you very much. Like a little show of affection. Like, by the way, when I say this, it was a half inch either way, like a dun dun dun.
Yeah, you weren't caressing.
I wasn't caressing. I wasn't rubbing them.
Deep it was on their shoulder. Describing how it
was on their shoulder. But I actually said to a woman, "Does that bother you that I did that?" She goes, "No." And I said, "Okay." But we're in the South, and I went, you know what? I'm gonna stop doing that altogether because it doesn't. I'm only doing it because I think that is a way to embrace them and go. That meant a lot that you took the time to get in line and take a picture with me. So I stopped altogether, and now I do a thing, and then the hands just remove off. Yeah. And you may go, Bert, you're overthinking it. I'm not, because there's that one fucking lunatic that's like, gets drunk with her boyfriend, they get in a fight, I saw him touch you, and then she's like, he fucking assault, like, I don't need that. And to say that there's not fucking lunatics out there, you're fucking out of your goddamn mind.
But also the other thing is, well, just like people have, everyone in the world has fucking, different boundaries. Like, so I always, after my shows, I'm like, if anyone wants a fucking hug after the show, I'm a fucking hugger. I love hugs. After the show, I'll fucking hug every single one of my fans, fucking take photos, do whatever. And I'm still going to keep doing that. But sometimes it's very easy to read body signals, right? Yeah. I think some people, like, if you go, hey, and they go, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to fucking force a hug on you. I can read very, very clearly, but I'm not going to start going, you know, are you okay for this hug? That's lunacy. But everyone is different. I think people are just so bad at reading fucking social cues. Because here's a little secret, boys. If a girl wants to fuck you, they are not subtle creatures. Like, if a girl really...
I think right now, there's guys listening going, you haven't been to Iowa. Like, the fucking... I imagine Scottish chicks are just so much fun to fucking party with.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I bet they're fucking... You
can get the annoying ones as you get everywhere. But yeah, the fucking... You know, we're all drinkers, we're all partiers. It's great.
It's just like hanging out with... I believe that Scottish chicks are like the cool chicks from... college. Like, all Scottish chicks are just the cool chicks from college, the ones that you spent that one summer with that liked to smoke weed and was like, wait, you never heard of Cat Williams? Or like at the time, this one girl I partied with was like, when was the last time you saw Eddie Murphy Raw? And I was like, I don't know. And we got high and watched it and howled laughing. That's how I imagine Scottish chicks to be, with a better accent.
Oh, the Scottish accent is one of the ones. I don't see how anyone sees it as attractive.
Okay, let's break down accents.
I know
sexiest accent in the world.
To men or women?
Men.
To men, fuck. There is this. I'm wrong, and everyone will disagree with me. Bristol in right. There's just because Bristol in the UK, they're just such fucking. It's such a farmer accent, and it's so.
What's it sound like?
All right, my lovers. How are we all doing today? Just gonna get some little cider, just go down to the shops, get some fish and chips. For some fucking reason, I'm like, talk dirty to me with that fucking accent.
Yeah, chick with like a fucking, I like that.
Yeah.
Brown hair.
Yeah. Or a ginger. God hates them. I love gingers.
Really?
Oh, fuck I.
There's only one ginger that I've ever, or I guess, I don't know if I can say that that's a hate crime. There's only one ginger that I've ever been attracted to, and man, was I attracted to her. Yeah. She had puffy nipples.
Sometimes they do have puffy nipples.
Yeah.
I love a ginger. God hates them, but they're all for me. I mean, and also the gingers, it must be very hard because obviously female gingers are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And male gingers did not get any of that DNA.
I thought you were going to say angry Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Okay, Bristol. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Scandic as well is good. Any of the Scandinavian ones, Swedish, Norwegian.
I always think the Scandinavian ones are easy to trick. Like, when I hear their accent, it seems like a very trickable accent.
What do you mean trickable?
Like, I could get them over on a shell game. Like they just seem like, okay.
Oh, hello.
Oh, like almost like they're amazed that you can guess their weight. They're easy carny. Carny marks.
Yeah.
Like I think the sexiest accent. What's the sexier accent in your opinion? French or Spanish?
Oh, Spanish. I fucking hate the French.
Oh my God, French accent is fucking so sexy.
I had sex with a fucking French girl, and she was gorgeous. And
it smelled horrible, but
no, sorry. Just she used to fuck herself with a baguette. You know what do they do? Yeah, she was. Now that you mention it, she was quite sexy. Yeah. But Spanish, I've also had sex with this fucking Spanish chick who was like she might listen to this podcast. You know who you are, best lay of my life.
The Spanish accent in bed, that just, it's just tight. Okay, let's go American accents. Sexiest American accent. My wife, you met her, she has a Southern accent. But there's something real guttural to a Southern accent where it's like almost like you're fucking with your boots on with no socks.
I like anything that, like, I'm filth, right? So any fucking accent where you give me the vibe that you're fucking. So there's some
Jersey,
Boston, like
Boston. Oh my God.
Oh fuck! And don't get me wrong, like we could never get married because I'm not raising children.
I suck your pecker.
I'll have that for a bit. I'll definitely a Bostonian woman for a fucking night where I'm just like, I'm gonna get bruises,
dude. A Jersey accent is fucking aggressive.
Yeah.
Like a female Jersey accent. Whew.
Yeah, but again, I'm a big fan of the fucking soft ones. I like your typical fucking Cali girls. Oh my god, stop it! Why did not sound like that? I'm like, fucking yeah.
Oh, the Texas accent.
I've still not. Texas is one of my biggest fucking to-do lists.
It's amazing.
Because I want to do. Because I've heard so much about Austin, and I'm desperate to fucking go there to fucking gig. But then I also just want to go to the rest of Texas. Because from what I've heard, Texas for me summarizes what a lot of America is in general, which is, oh my god, I disagree with you, but you're so fucking friendly. And that to me what America ultimately is.
That's
it's just
so funny. That is Texas. That is Texas.
Yeah, I disagree with everything that left your mouth, but fuck me, you've just welcomed me into your home and made me some food. That to me is what America is. Even though you're fucking this crazy, loud, obnoxious, every single one, as a country as a whole, disagree, but as individuals, you're just the friendliest people in the world. You welcome people into your homes, your country, and yeah.
That's the South, I think. The South is, I mean, there's some accents in the South that would fucking Mississippi chicks. Like that, my wife's accent's a little dirty, in my opinion. Yeah. Like, cause she's, comes from, I don't know the right way to say this, but meager, like, grew up in a trailer. Yeah. Like, just grew up in, like, just.
Well, you can say poor.
Yeah, well, she's a little past that. And so, but like, my wife's foothills Appalachia redneck accent. Yeah. Like when I met my wife, she was like, you can call me a redneck all you want, don't ever call me a hillbilly. My wife's got that NASCAR pit bull meth fist fight redneck accent.
Yeah.
And then you'll meet Southern girls who have like almost like a highbrow, like it's so funny because the guys who have that highbrow Southern accent sound gay. Well, I'm from North Carolina.
Oh, you mean Colonel Sanders? Yeah.
But the Southern accent, I would love to. I could probably watch 19 different Southern accents on a fucking YouTube video.
Just talking.
So wait, what's your plan in life? Like, what's you're 28. You have at 28. I was taking a shit yesterday, not shitting blood or not shitting mucus. Yeah. But I was thinking.
I like how you clarify. You were like, not shitting blood. No, sorry, I was shitting blood, but I wasn't shitting mucus.
I was like 28. I'd only been doing stand-up 2 fucking years at 28, and I did not know where I was going then. I think the business was very different then, but where do you see yourself going in this business? Because you're not on anyone's track, meaning like, when I started, you had to be on a track. You had to be like, are you a host? Are you an actor? Yeah. Are you a comedian? Like, if you were a comedian, you couldn't just be a comedian.
Yeah. You have to do
Nowadays, there's so many tracks you can hop on and jump on and off that like you don't have to pick one.
Yeah, I love stand-up. Like, I've watched stand-up since I was 5 years old, right? I used to watch with my fucking dad. I wasn't laughing at the jokes. I was just laughing at the fucking swear words, but I loved it. I love being on stage. I fucking my ultimate goal is, and this is a thing, apparently this is a fucking horrible opinion to have. I want to be the fucking best stand-up in the world. Like, and
that's completely acceptable. I wrote a mission statement to myself 14 years ago that said I want to be the greatest stand-up in the world.
Yeah, I just want to keep fucking doing it, and I want to get to the stage where I can, because at the moment I tour the UK and I tour Europe and I toured Australia. I want to tour America. I want to tour Canada. I want to fucking start. I want to do Brazil and Venezuela. Like, because when I did Europe for the first time 5 years ago, you suddenly went, oh my god, there's a fucking audience here and they're desperate, and that exists everywhere. Like, the rest of the world is actually a lot smarter than the UK and America. They can listen to comedy in their second language, understand the nuances, and nobody goes there, so it just takes somebody to fucking go there and do it.
Open up the market.
I want to do that. I want to just keep doing stand-up, and just because the reason Bill Burr is one of the greatest stand-ups of all time is because he just constantly fucking did it. He just constantly fucking. That's the only way you can get that good, is to, and that's why I want to just keep doing. That being said, like, fucking, I enjoy if acting's fucking fun. Like, if someone, but I don't do accents. Like, every time, every pilot season, I've had this same interview every fucking day. Hey, how you doing? Name? Daniel Sloss. Representation? CAA. Do you do an American accent? No. Are you willing to learn one? No. Why? Because that's not what I fucking sound like.
Yeah.
Like, airplanes exist. Write the guy Scottish. Either you want me, 'cause I'm not a serious actor. You want my timing and my fucking personality. So the character has to be in the realm of who I am, really. Yeah. And airplanes fucking, you just, unless I'm like a dad of 2 American kids, the character can be a miserable Scottish cunt. And I can act, I can be a happy Scottish cunt. I can be a depressed Scottish cunt. I can be, but it's Scottish cunt always has to be in those fucking words.
Wait, let's do this, okay? Let's do our best. I'll do my Scottish accent and you do an American accent.
I can only do female American accent, but
okay, you be oh my god. I'll do female Scottish accent.
Oh great, I'm in. Yeah,
okay,
totally.
and we'll be talking about each other's Netflix specials. So you're the American who just watched Bert Kreischer special, and I'm the Scottish chick that just watched Daniel Sloss special. Okay, ready? Hang on.
Do you want to go?
Okay, go.
So, last night I was just sitting down with Netflix with my boyfriend.
Me love Netflix.
So what did you watch? Who did you?
This Daniel Sloss. He is so funny. He is a very, very.
You've gone Taiwanese.
I've gone into Father Guido Sarducci. Hang on. You just got to put water in your mouth to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Daniel. Oh, there we go. There's Scottish. There's Scottish. Oh, Daniel Sloss. He is a very funny boy. A good Scottish cunt. Do I sound Scottish right now?
I watched Bert Kreischer. He took his shirt off. It was hot. It was hot. I didn't think it'd do it for me, but I got a little bit wet.
Well, me hope Daniel Sloss would take his shirt off. A good-looking cunt.
You've gone Indian.
Good-looking cunt.
I don't know. I just think there's something cute about, like, he's like a big teddy bear. I don't know. I just want to, like, be the little spoon and just let him, like, overwhelm me, but in a sexy way.
I could be. What? I don't even know what I'm doing. I am so bad with fucking accents.
Yeah, it was. But the thing was, it was like 1% of it was so spot on.
What? I would catch glimpses of brilliance.
But then just mixed in with Indian, like Sri Lankan. There was a little bit of South African mixed with Russian.
You're describing my baseball career. Flashes of brilliance, but God, he's a fucking lazy fucking outfielder. Oh. That fucking kills me. Yeah, I can't do accent. And I always go like, why do they hire the person with the other accent? Why don't they just hire an American person? Yeah, that's the question about whitewashing these days. Is like they hire a white person to play like an Asian role or something.
Yeah.
Or they hired Colin Jost's girlfriend, not Sabrina. What's the girl who's in? God, I'm really bad at this. This could be a game show. Guys with bad memory trying to describe shit they're thinking of.
Yeah. And to most women, that's marriage.
Who's the... Scarlett Johansson was playing a transgendered male.
Yeah.
I fuck that up every time.
Oh, so she was a man that had transitioned into a woman?
No, transgender female. She was a woman that's transitioned into a man.
Okay.
And the trans community got really upset, saying you should have a transgendered female play that role instead of a female.
Yeah.
And I think everyone's argument was, I think we want people to watch this, so we're gonna go with the biggest movie star in the world to get eyes on an important subject that may normalize to people that are not comfortable with this. It may normalize that to people, which is, I think, in essence, the goal of what she was trying to do, and instead the project's just dead. They're not making it anymore.
I think it was one of by having her in it, it would go to a wider audience, and you get that fucking story out
But
there.
it could have been a really great movie with a transgender female.
Yeah, exactly.
It could have been great.
I think it's the fact that, like, as and I understand what the start of the sentence is, but as fucking white men, we've been represented in everything. Like, when you're growing up, like, you see as we're the main character in everything, so that's why we have this inherent belief that we can do anything because we absolutely can. And I think for, as somebody who doesn't have any fucking struggles or none, I'm steeped in fucking privilege. So
but we're also Hollywood elite. Like there are dudes listening going, yeah, but I'm white and I have a lot of fucking struggle.
Yeah. So again, but I'll even take that into context there. But I just think I took it so fucking for granted that there was just everything I saw. I was like, oh, it's me. Oh, it's me again. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. Oh, it's me. It's me. It's me. It's me. I'm in all of these things. Whereas, I think if you're a trans person and then there's a fucking movie made about your struggle and then they just go, okay, so now it's just Scarlett Johansson, and you'd be like, why can't one of my people? Because, I understand both sides.
Why can't, that does make sense, because then you're like,
why is it why you're saying my people can do anything, but you're not hiring my people to do the anything?
I feel like that when they go when they call guys who are actors comedians, I go no, and then they go on tour but they're not. They never worked on an act. And I was like, you could have just had a guy that does it do it. Yeah. So I feel like that. I think a lot of it is framing it so people can wrap their head around it, as opposed to just saying it. Yeah, like it could like. It would be funny to just Scarlett Johansson just not really get the idea of the nuance of what it is to be a transgender female. And be like, God, my balls are sweaty. And you're just like, that's not how we act.
Yeah. And obviously she would have done the fucking Daniel Day-Lewis research and stuff and gone into it. But there is also, it's like, there is less realness to it.
Yeah, like, it becomes the joke of Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Yeah. Why not just hire a black guy? Yeah. Which is that? Can you believe that he got a pass on that?
I watched it quite recently, and I remember saying, just going, "Oh man!" Like I understand the logic and the jokes are fucking great, and as a white person, it doesn't. I understand why it's upsetting, but it doesn't offend me directly because
not at all.
But yeah, even watching it again, you're like, oh boy! I mean, that was.
Can you imagine being that Brandon T. Jackson? I think was the black kid who played opposite him.
Yeah,
can you imagine?
And he's just fucking sitting there being like, these like in front of me,
and he can't say a word because it's Robert Downey Jr. and Brent Stiller, and he's like, I'm in a big movie, Jack Black's in it, I'm in with movie stars, but deep down inside he's like, are you? And his boys must have been his trailer like.
He's just sitting there, yeah. Hey, mom, I got this role. Robert Downey Jr. in it. Oh, great. Who does he play? Well, look, yeah.
It doesn't. By the way. It really genuinely doesn't offend me. Like I definitely saw I found it funny, and I found it, but I'm not black, so I can't imagine. But I don't think there was that much of an uproar. And
I think it was. But if a black person was to say to me, like, I find that upsetting, I wouldn't be like, how dare you? I'd be like, yeah, no, I can see why.
This is why. I think this is why. I'm gonna speak out of my ass about black people. So if you're black, hit me up and let me know that I was wrong or right. Okay, this is my 2 cents, and it's based off of perception. I think black culture meaning like the common sense in the community, meaning where I think they give hood passes to dudes like Robert Downey Jr. because he's struggled so much. I think had it been maybe like had it been
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, like someone who maybe was forced down our throats. I think they'd be like, no. But I think they look at
like Jim Carrey.
I think if Jim Carrey, they probably would have said no. They would have called foul on it. Yeah. But I think with Robert Downey Jr., I think they almost, like Cat Williams trashed Tiffany Haddish, and it's funny because Tiffany grew up easily. I'll say the term hood, but like as poor as Cat Williams, if not more poor. She was raised in foster families and then lived with her grandmother. And I mean, Tiffany has definitely struggled as much. She would never say this, but as much, if not more than any one human being I know.
Yeah, but that's not her identity, and she doesn't make it so.
But Cat still keeps it grimy. So I think black people in general respect that DMX, that grimy, like you got some fucking arrest warrants, you've been to prison, you fucked around with drugs, you lost a kid in custody or whatever. Like I think they almost brought in Robert Downey Jr. like you're one of us now, and so I think that's why you got the pass. By the way, I know I want to say your names specifically who listen to the podcast that I always hit up with on Twitter. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. Yeah. I think if you are Lily White, if it was Will Ferrell, they might have said, no, fuck that. Yeah. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
You're not. I don't see you having struggled the way I've struggled. It's appropriation of the struggle.
Yeah.
Of like going, I'm on. I think that's the big fight right now with white feminists and black feminists is like, don't appropriate our struggle. Like you're a white woman. White women's path has not been as hard as you're making it sound. Yeah. That's what I'm reading from Amanda Seales.
Yeah. No, I think it's there's two. I mean, again, I not limited about fucking feminism because once again, I got one of them dicks. Yeah. One of them like free passes.
Oh, my wife tried to explain. This makes me uncomfortable. My wife tried to explain my daughter's having to put in a tampon.
Right. I've genuinely got a fucking routine about this with my show this year because as a man, you just go, you realise that you don't really know how they go in?
I don't.
Right? Because they've got the fucking little, the fucking Apollo 13 ones, the syringe thing where the fucking cotton comes out of fucking somewhere and then the strings hanging out like Woody from Toy Story.
Dude.
And then and this is how much of an idiot I am, and this is going to make the fucking women laugh. You know, I don't know what you call. We call them fanny pads because fanny in Scotland means vagina, not ass, right? So we call them fanny pads.
Fanny pads. I was like, I have a fanny pack.
Yeah, no, fanny pads.
Yeah, like a pad.
Pad. Like I don't know what the word is over here. The ones
Tampaks.
Tampaks. Yeah. So you know they've got sticky bits on them.
Yeah.
Right. I'm 28 years old. Only earlier this year did I find out that the sticky bits go onto the underwear. Because I knew there were sticky bits. I just assumed that they just slapped it on like a fucking plaster.
Wait, how does it go on?
It goes onto the pants. So because it sticks onto the pants. So you're in the exact same fucking boat as I am. The sticky bits go onto the pads, so it sticks on the pants, right? So the blood falls into it, as opposed to what I thought, which is just fucking seal the gate shit.
Yeah, I thought they shoved it up on their.
No, the tampons
like
go in.
Like a boy with tape on his face. Fuck. My wife was trying to explain. I can't even talk about it. By the way, you run no risk of me ever speaking about this on stage. It makes me that uncomfortable because she was like, she's like, you don't understand what it's like to be a woman and how to have to be 11 and put a tampon in. And I was like, wait, they use tampons? My wife was like, yeah, what do you think they use? I was like, pads. She was like, no, if they want to go swimming, they have to put a tampon in. And to put a tampon in, you have to. And I was like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I go, it makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah. Can you imagine 11 and having to do that to yourself? No.
That's why. Even though you don't want to know, you have to, like, because like it's fucking.
Fuck that.
As uncomfortable it is for you, like that's fucking what your daughters are currently going through this weird thing. Just what you're saying, like when your kids are young, they don't realize that we've got a bleeder is damaging. You can't fucking make them feel weird or gross about this entirely natural thing that happens to 50% of the world.
Thank God my daughter had a period party.
Yeah, I still find that so funny. What a little baller. That's great.
Yeah, she's a really interesting kid. I wish she was here immediately. She just left. She was with my wife. Wait, where did my wife take her? Oh, to Lily's house. Yeah. But she's a really interesting kid. I do a lot. Both my kids are interesting. George is interesting in a different way.
Yeah.
But Isla's. Do you think you'll ever have kids?
Oh, I want to be a dad. Absolutely, not yet. Like I'm enjoying the fact that like
28.
Yeah, I'm 28. At this moment in my life, I can be fucking selfish as fuck, and I'm going to do it. I want to be a husband. I want to be a dad one day, and I think the secret to being a good husband and father is, you know, fucking being present as much as you can and not having...
You just defined why I'm not a good parent. Yeah. I am never fucking home. My dad asked me how my daughters were doing yesterday, and I go, I don't know. I said, I really haven't seen them in a while. I've been on promoting the special, and it just has been... I don't know.
But I still think you're still a fucking good father because you're doing all of that to make money to fucking put your kids through life. Yeah. So you don't get to fucking negate. You're not going out fucking. I mean, you are drinking, but that's still part of the thing. Yeah. You're not ignoring.
But I got a good liver. I'm gonna save my liver so that when I go to England or when I go to what's it called, UK.
Yeah.
When I go to the UK, I can party with you guys.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I've literally...
And if you got to do the Edinburgh fucking festival, like if Harry's not sold it to you at this point, like...
I want to do it. My problem is, when is it, in June?
August.
Oh, is it August?
Yeah.
I could do it for a month. I could definitely, I would love... Ari was like, why don't you bring your kids over and live with your kids over there? But I don't know if my kids would appreciate it the way I'd want to appreciate it.
No, but you'd have to do different sides. So, I mean, every comedian does it. So you got comedians with family who bring their family up for the full thing, or the family come over for like a fucking week or whatever, because your kids would love Scotland. That's with your wife.
Really?
Oh, fuck
Maybe
yeah.
pair me up with another comic that's like me, that's got kids, that's got 2 girls my daughter's age, and we'll rent a mansion.
Okay, I'll have a think.
Yeah. Because I would love to cohabitate with another family.
Yeah.
And then me and the dad could go out and party.
Yep.
And then our wives are taking care of the kids. I'd be like, oh, I'd fucking love that. I'm going to show you my tour. We'll wrap this up. What is it? Been 2 hours? Yeah. We'll wrap this up. I want to show you my tour dates. I want to tell you the things I was going to tell you. I want to remember everything I was going to tell you though, and I might forget. But dude, congratulations. The one thing I really was upset with, I wish Netflix would post them not on top of each other, but next to each other.
Yeah. So, because I've had so many people have been like, oh, I watched Dark, where's Jigsaw? I've been searching for Jigsaw. And I'm like, no, it's 2 episodes.
What happened with me is I think I started Dark.
Yeah.
And then once you start one, you can go to the second one.
Yeah.
So make sure to watch both. Jigsaw's your Edmurrow from like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's Dark is your newest one.
No. Dark is Edinburgh 4 years ago. Jigsaw is Edinburgh 3 years ago. I've just finished my tour. The last one was my show Now, so that hopefully that gets picked up, because that one's in the bank. And now I'm on tour with a new one called X.
Nice.
So I've got 2 other specials that hopefully Netflix.
I gotta name. How do you name tours and stuff? Like,
I just whatever. The first one was called Dark because it was just called the Dark. Originally, the other one was just called So because I say so a lot, and then the other one after that was called Now because I say now a lot, and then X. It was my 10th Edinburgh show, and so I just called it X.
Oh, maybe I'll call my tour the 20th anniversary tour. I'm doing stand up 20 years starting this November.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to name my tour right now. Can I tell you what I really wanted to call it? I wanted. Do you like Wilco at all?
Wilco.
Oh, you don't know Wilco? Oh, it's my favorite band ever.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Wilco did this thing where they were going on tour, and you could request a song, and then whatever song got requested the most, they would definitely play that at the shows.
Yeah.
So every venue had a place like request a song, and so you could request whatever song you wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And I was going to do that for my tour. What I was going to do is say
bits.
I was going to call it the Encore Tour. Yeah. And then I do this anyway, but like I'm going to do an hour's worth of new material, maybe 55 minutes, and then it's at a theater, so there's no time limit, and I'll just go and I'll take 2 bits that you want to hear. Obviously, I think a lot of people want to still hear The Machine, but I know that a lot of people want to hear Flying Dildos or Fighting a Bear or Disneyland on Acid or Ziplining or whatever story. So then have it on my website where you could request a bit.
Yeah, for the specific venue, and then
request 2 bits, and so everyone gets to do it. And then when we get to the venues, you're like, "Hey, this is whatchamacallit. These are the 2 bits they requested."
Yeah.
And then you get to do it, and you will please the majority of people. I wanted to call it that, but I don't know if that's what I'm gonna go with. I think the branding of me having my shirt off is what everyone notices.
Yep.
I think I was thinking about calling it the Party Hardy Tour.
Good.
Because I do like to party hardy,
and that's what they're fucking there for.
Yeah, but the problem is that was in the last special, and people go, "Oh, so is he doing the material from the last?" But you want to name it a brand new thing.
Yeah. So they're very aware that it's entirely different shows. Just call it the fucking 20th anniversary. Just call it 20. Well, I don't give a shit. It's just as long as it's got a different name to the rest of the shit.
Yeah,
because it's always going to be Bert Kreischer's whatever.
Segura's so good at that. He just announced his tour today, and it's the Take It Down tour. Because they were trying to get his Netflix special taken down, so he's a Take It Down tour. And then I was gonna do the See Me Before Tom tour because we're doing our tours are identical.
Yeah.
Except just like weeks off. So See Me Instead of Tom tour.
Yeah, correct.
I wanted to call it Tarps Off tour. Because in Canada, when you take your shirt off, they call it tarps off.
That's so in Scotland, it's taps off.
Taps off?
Taps off. We've got what you call taps off weather in Scotland because it's barely fucking sunny. If it goes above 21 degrees Celsius, which is not hot at all, it's taps off weather, and just every man just goes right fucking taps off, and none of us are going to go to work.
And is it spelt like tarp?
TAPS.
Taps.
AFF.
Taps
It's just
off.
goes.
Dude, there's this video of this guy going, I'm bad at accents again.
Yeah.
He's like, whoa, I came out and it dropped below 7 Celsius or whatever. But it's still freezing. Everyone's saying, I thought, tarps off for the boys, and he's just taking his shirt off. What tour dates? Anything to promote?
Just the 2 Netflix specials, and then doing a tour around Europe and the UK, and then next year I'll be doing more in America. But just watch my shit.
Well, it's an open invite. I said this to Chris Martin. I said this to it's an open invite to you and Kai.
Yeah.
If you ever want to come over here and you want to tag on to some work and you don't have dates planned, I'm doing a theater tour starting in January that's going around the world into, I think, June.
Yeah.
But if you ever want to come out and do a theater here and work with me, I know it's a lot below you guys, but it's an open offer. It's an open offer. If you want to go, if there's a part of the country where you're like, I've always wanted to see fucking Iowa. Well, I'll be there. Feel free to go, hit me up and go, hey man, I'm coming to the States. Do you mind if I hop on these 2 dates with you?
Yeah.
Because I'm doing like 4 shows a weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm going.
Me and Guy will come out and fucking enjoy you for a few days.
Let's do that. Let's plan a little run.
Yeah.
And it'll be the 3 of us.
Yeah.
And let's do that.
Yeah, fuck I.
All right. Fuck I?
Fuck I. Fuck
Fuck
yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I fuck eyes.
Yeah, I fuck eyes. I will
I got
fuck your
ocular
eyes.
syphilis.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for doing this, man.
Cheers for having me, buddy. Real good.
Yeah.